WIIFTBP and
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Jackson. If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Randy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. We done had a heart.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that? Yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this thing.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
It's a joyous thing.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stoger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I am in the building doing my thing. Riis, I know the talking to the mic. You can take it down. It's my show. My house. My studio. I'm not a guest here. I know how things go. I know how we supposed to do this thing. Riis, I know you used to directing people and telling them what to do, and y'all move over there. Get close. I want the full shot. Y'all get a little close. You act like y'all like each other. It's the Maze Jackson Show, but you know Riis be around this studio acting like, you know, it's the Riis the Ruler studio. Now let me ask y'all, is this petty or not? So, you know, like, okay, now I'm not in any way, shape, or form comparing myself to Tom Joyner. Okay, I'm not. But I will say that he is an idol, right? And what he did with Reach Media, you know, kind of Tom Joyner took his own fate into his own hands and left and built his own thing and then built on this super empire. But let me ask you a question. You think when Tom Joyner comes to his studio, he got to use J. Anthony Brown's headphones? This is all I'm going to say, right? Right? This is what you got to tell the people, right? It's all good on Wednesdays, but it's all good on Wednesday night. It's good on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon. But on Monday morning, I want to be like it's my crib again, right? You can't leave your socks. You can't leave your socks, right? You can't leave your socks on the floor
Like if you Airbnb, you can't leave your socks on the couch. That's all. I know. One day I'm gonna be a star. One day I'm gonna be a star. One day they're gonna be like, you know what? Let's just do the simple things because we know he petty. So let's just get the simple things out the way. Let's just take care of them. I was sitting there. I was like, oh damn, them ain't even my headphone. I ain't even tripping. I'm really just talking smack. I just want to have something to say. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. You see me giving them the business. It's my man, DJ Riis, the ruler in the building. DJ Riis, the ruler! It's Monday, bro. It's Monday. I seen you last night. Hey, y'all, can I tell y'all something? It'd be funny to me. I write a check every month. Let me come in this mug anytime. Riis like, what you doing here? I'm like, Dad, can I come to the studio on the Sunday? You know, it's like Riis was up in here in his pajamas, right? He be working in his pajamas. I'm like, ain't no company uniform. He in his PJs, like literally PJs. But he still had his What's in it for the Black People hoodie on, so I ain't even gonna trip.
You'd be amazed to know that those are actually regular pants I bought from the store.
I believe you, Riis. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Riis, I really wouldn't. I would not be surprised at all. At all. I would not. I wouldn't. Not for you, Riis. I've come to recognize that you are a style unto your own. I have decided that I have no questions. I'll just be like, man, Riis, just stay out the alley. Just stay out the alley. As long as you stay out the alley, Riis, it's all good. Riis, but okay. Never mind. Yeah, Riis, I'm not surprised. After you busted down the other day, what you was like, I was like, some days I just be like, I'm clearly old. I'm just old. I have come to the conclusion that I am truly a 50. You know, like when you used to be like, man, somebody 50, you like, man, that's old. Right? And then you be 50. You 50 and you don't really feel old. You be like, man, what's wrong with me? And then you be listening to the car. You be like, okay, I'm old. I've come to the conclusion I am officially old. That's it. I'm not mad. That's why I just be like, oh, you know how you be saying stuff and I just be like, oh. Okay. Right? I learned not to react too much. You know, I might have squeeze a small question in there. But yeah, between you and Ruthie, I have learned. Yeah, I'm just I'm out of touch. I'm out of touch. I need to have me some Hall & Oates. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Riis the ruler, how you feeling today, man? You didn't even say your part. You know, you got to do your thing.
You know I'm blessed by the best. You already know the rest. It's Monday, but, you know.
Hey, man.
I walked in the house. I told you, man, I walked in the house I'm sorry. I was leaving somewhere from the fight yesterday, and as I was leaving one
fight?
room, yeah, you know, the Davis fight.
What Davis?
The crew, you know, the one that is like
the old boy undefeated. That Lil Durk came to the stage and was like, rap, I'm a rapper.
I was watching that.
Kill him, murder, shoot him.
As I was leaving,
Damn.
I couldn't really catch it, and I should have just said rewind it, but I saw my boy Tyrone on the news. I don't know what he was doing, but I heard his voice, and I looked. It was him. I said, what is he doing on the news?
Uh-oh, somebody in trouble. Somebody is in trouble. Tyrone called me early in the morning yesterday. I said, brother, please, can we wait till tomorrow? It's Sunday. I was like,
man, we can't wait till tomorrow, Maze. Because
tomorrow,
these white people already got the advantage on us, Maze. They already had us wait 400 years, Maze.
I said,
we can't wait 400 years in a day.
I say, Ty, please, can I have Sunday? Right, I was already working on Sunday. Right, I was like, please, my brother, please, can we please have till Monday? Please.
Fighting the battle every day. I love it. Fighting the battle every day.
I was like, can we have a Sabbath? Please, can we have a Sabbath?
The white man made Christianity so he can make us relax on a Sunday.
Oh, Jesus. Shout out to my man, Tyrone Muhammad. Gotta holler at find me a peace pipe, y'all. Find me a peace pipe. We gotta bring some. Anyway. He was on the news.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing though, man. Please, bro. Like I just saw something happen.
I see it. We gotta go to this page and check out what happened. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Go man, DJ Riis the Ruler. Riis, let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet because I got a lot to talk about today. We are up and away. I'm gonna run through some of these headlines. Hey man, Riis. Hey man. You know I'm a Bears fan. You did this to us, though.
Arlington Bears.
Riis, you did this to us, though. I'm just telling you. You did it. Remember when you came in? Remember when you did this? Remember this? Remember this? God don't like ugly. After the second interception, I was like, you think this got anything to do with Riis? Third interception, I'm feeling this is a Riis thing. By the fourth one, I was like, all I could see was your hands walking into the studio being like, see, you did that to us. You cannot be wishing ill will on people. And Andy Dalton paid you back yesterday.
No, Andy Dalton did exactly what I needed him to do. I just need him to keep sucking so that they can make sure that Justin Fields will be the starting quarterback.
We know that. We knew that. He need to get in reps now.
Matt Nagy needs to be fired.
Okay. What about Ryan Pace?
All of them need to go, man.
I want to fire the McCaskies. But shout out to my man, Big Tony. Big Tuna. Hey, man. We love the Bears, man, but that was a hard watch yesterday. It was like, you know how you got to, like, just for your pressure, you got to start cleaning or something? I had to start cleaning. Like, I redid the bar yesterday. Like, I almost started drinking. I had to fight it. I was like, Lord. I was like, Minister Mays was like, go on, you can have a sip. You paid the 20%. I cut you to the front, Brother Mays. But I was just like, Lord, help me. All right, Riis. Tough watch. Michigan school shooter. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. These white folks need to get their damn kids. I was thinking about the mayor on TV talking about get your kids.
Don't say that.
No, we gonna talk about it. Oh no, we gonna talk. We gonna talk. But she can do it because she the black woman.
See that?
Yeah, Riis, it's okay. We gonna talk about it a little bit because before we talk about get your kids, I got a different spin on get your kids today. So let me just do my thing. Downtown, you gotta go downtown. That's the way to my love. You know what? I did not realize when they were singing that song that they meant like downtown.
That's what you start realizing you get old.
And that was one of my songs during my era, but I really wasn't. I didn't get it. And like Rain on Me, I didn't get that either. I just, like how many times you used to sing songs and you'd be like, wait a minute.
When you finally say the lyric.
Where you listen to the lyrics that you.
What?
Right. Okay, anyway. So downtown. Downtown is going up on the weekend. Riis, I'm going to ask you a little bit about more downtown because people, I cannot, oh, dang. I'm going crazy. Did you see this one? Oh, so Riis, did you see they snapped downtown this weekend? It was like they said it was a mob of teens. They after a bus driver, after he heard a loud thump, got to check the bus, got shot, bumped. Then there was, or no, did he get shot or did he get mobbed? He got beat up.
But he happy though. Oh yeah, because he finna check a bag. He not finna work for about 4 years. He finna get all that money tax free, and then he finna sue them for a good meal. A good meal he getting easy.
Okay. Well, that happened, and then somebody bumped into somebody and got shot downtown too. Got shot in the arm. He gonna survive, but he bumped into the shooter, and the shooter shot him. You ever do that when you be walking down the street and y'all trying to decide who gonna get over and then like you touch? How you feel about that? Do you feel like, did you touch me? Did you just touch me, Mo?
It all depends because, some people feel like they entitled to, like, the sidewalk. So, how you supposed to get that little side turn, like it's kind of like a, excuse me, hey, I see you. But some people be expecting you to move your shoulder. And that's when I be like, see, now I'm finna hit your shoulder on purpose because,
Now, does size matter?
What you mean?
Like if it's like, I mean, okay.
If it's Debo, I'm saying, my fault.
If it's you and Tyrone, y'all coming at each other, and Ty swell up on the sidewalk.
I'm stopping and turning sideways and be like, there you go, sir. Excuse me.
Tyrone, I'm gonna tell you what. Let Greg Sherman be walking down the street and don't get out the way when man. I think Greg Sherman's son is bigger than me, dog. He like 12 weeks. Dude, his son be doing push-ups. He had his son doing push-ups at 10 weeks old.
Gotta get him ready.
I promise.
Get him ready for the election.
Go ahead, have your way, sir. What if it's a white person?
See, those be the ones I feel like being entitled, like
right.
The sidewalk.
Reese, used to be a time before MMA. I'm gonna tell you, I thought, I don't care what white guy it was, I thought that the black dude would win.
Thank you.
After I've been watching MMA though, I feel like I think these MMA clinics, you see how they got all these MMA places popping up around the world? That is angry white men. Like, I'm keeping the sidewalk, Joe. I'm telling you, Tom.
Yeah, like Henry said, man.
You see these what's these white boys in the basketball talk about going after the Twins said, I dare y'all to do something to my brother. Nico, what's Vukovic or what's the, how we got all the them Serbians. Hey man, them Serbians be on some stuff. What's the old boy from, him and his brother came on because it's two black twins in the league and they was getting ready to fight.
Oh, you talking about the Morris twins, bro?
The Morris twins versus who was the white? But the white ones was like his brother got a passport, bought tickets to come to the game to be like, "What's up?" I do feel like white folks have left the realm of like that Tyson Fury stuff, right? Like I feel like when they see that, they be like, "We going back to the gym, Rocky."
Nah,
come on.
It be Jake Paul pumping them up now.
I don't even know who Jake. See,
you so Jake Paul is like the new white hype, So he go.
It's the internet boxer.
Yeah, he go around.
But didn't he get his head beat in by?
Nah.
Didn't he fight Floyd? Didn't he fight Floyd and Floyd whooped him up?
Floyd, first of all, Floyd whoops nobody. He just counter and hit you. But Floyd did beat him in the basketball round. But that was a paycheck for him. So yeah, but it's that boy Jake Paul out there, fighting people. But hey, man, I don't care.
Man, so what man, I'm gonna tell you, these white. So you giving the white guy the sidewalk or no?
No, I try to always do sidewalk adequacy, but at the same time, like you can tell when you see somebody's expecting you to like not even move, like you're not even gonna like move to the side a little bit, but
you can see it though.
Yeah.
You can see it when they coming. Mm-hmm. You can see when they take straight 50. Like they be like, I'm 50, and it might be 50.5. Yeah, I don't be giving up the sidewalk. Hey, Reese, where can we smoke? Like, weed is legal, but where can you actually smoke?
Everywhere.
Inside?
Well, not inside, but...
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, where can you smoke inside, though? Like, I think it's... They said that out in the West Loop. Shout out to... Hey, man. Hold on. They said 2100 block of Fulton. That's by my house. They had straight Afro Man. Because I got high. And then you can come in, smoke, trade your stuff, do whatever. I'm saying, and they saying it's legal, but it's like the gray area. I feel like we need to pass some smoke room laws.
But the Illinois no smoking rule is kind of in effect, So I guess at a smoke shop, but then you have like at a cigar lounge, but then you have to see if they're allow that, like, because actually in like a certified smoke shop, you can actually like smoke in there. So like, yeah, you can smoke weed in a smoke shop.
Yeah, but how many smoke shops exist in our areas where we can actually partake? That because a lot of times weed smokers and cigar smokers don't want to be in the same space.
Right.
I don't want to smell cigar. I mean, well, my cousin, not me. Anyway, Riis, Minnie Minoso, and Buck O'Neal, as well as 4 other players, were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Shout out to Minnie Minoso. I met Buck O'Neal. Shout out O'Neal. Remember Buck O'Neal? We were in Kansas City. Negro League Hall of Fame. I got a bobblehead. Ornery. He was an ornery critter, though. It's kind of a little ornery. You know how old black men get like, boy, don't tell me nothing. I was the best thing ever. Shout out to Buck O'Neal and Minnie Minoso, who made it to the Hall of Fame. Juicy Smouye, Riis, you got a reprieve. But they trying to decide if he going to take the stand, Riis. If he take the stand, you better work on it. You got to work on it. You got to work on it. You got to be work. You got a reprieve today. So you better get on and tune in. You better read up. Because, Riis, it's Monday. You had the weekend to sleep on it. You sure you want to do this? You sure you want to go? It's 0-3. You playing for 3 years in the pokey. Literally, well, let me stop. I'll let that be. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Did y'all see this story in the Sun-Times? I had already done my show script, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it today, really, but you need to read that story in the Sun-Times. WBEZ, shout out to WBEZ in the Sun-Times for the report that they did regarding, did you know that, so in the face of COVID-19, do you know that the cities, they are saying that the city inequitably distributed the vaccines? So they gave all the rich white communities more vaccine. So you know how they was like, you know how they was telling us that the reason that we're not getting vaccinated at the same rates as white people is because we were vaccine hesitant? Well, actually what it was is they were giving our communities less vaccine total. So we couldn't get it. So like say on the north side, they sent 400,000 shots of the vaccine. And on the south side, they only sent like 75,000. And I'm throwing the numbers off, but we got to read. That's kind of crazy. Like they said over 118 extra people died unnecessarily because of the inequitable distribution. And then if you tie that to what happened at Loretto Hospital, right? Remember at Loretto where they were giving the shots to the Trump Tower? So they was taking shots out of our community and taking them. And then y'all remember when I told y'all about the white folks was going to our hospitals in our hoods, taking our shots, saying that we didn't want them. That's kind of crazy, yo. Like, we need to break that story down. We need to get the reporters in on that one because I don't think I could do that justice, but that is crazy. Crazy. Pick up the Chicago Sun-Times today and check that out. I'm not trying to sell their papers. Riis, so check this out. At 8 o'clock, Mark Aguirre is coming in. Sitting there with us from 8 to 9. We went to the DePaul game. Shout out to Vince Bass. Shout out to Mark Aguirre. Shout out to Anthony Jackson and his brothers. Shout out to DePaul. We had an awesome time at the game, even though I saw some craziness. We're going to talk about that today because, I saw some craziness. So we're going to talk about that. Riis. And then we went to the Chicago Elite Classic. Joe, shout out to the Whitakers. We're going to talk about that too. I'm going to tell you about my experience. Let's take a quick break. I'm going to tell you what happened this weekend. And I'm going to tell you how it's funny. I'm going to tell you a carjacking. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you about what happened to me this weekend when we come back. And then I want to get y'all opinions on how it goes. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBP.
I'm your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Keys, TD, a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
I wish I had one witness in the house.
You got one. You got a couple of them. Got two T's. Two T's.
Give me a testimony.
Oh, Lord. He's did it before. Oh, Lord. I got one. Better. I got 5 reasons. 5 reasons. Oh, Lord. He turned it around. Turn it around. He woke me up this morning. Oh, don't do this. Don't do this.
Go
Number
ahead.
4. He woke me up this morning. Come on, number 3. Come. He woke me up. Oh, Lord.
He woke you up.
That thing can touch you. One of them 5s will get you. What's the second one? He woke me up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, my God.
And the number 1 reason. Number 1. Final answer. He woke me up this morning.
He woke me up this morning.
That's a testimony.
That's a testimony.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:35 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. Over the traffic on the Kennedy O'Hare to the Loop is 25 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare is 19. On the Edens inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange will be 28 minutes and 28 minutes back out to Deerfield as well. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 35 minutes. 29 minutes will be back out to Thorndale. The Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 40 minutes. Outbound, just 32. The Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 40 minutes. 28 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 15 minutes to the Loop, 14 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive south from 55th to Jackson as well as Jackson to 55th will be 7 minutes. And on the north side of things, Randolph to Bryn Mawr and Bryn Mawr back to Randolph will be 8. Today's weather, it is currently 34 and cloudy. Today will be a high of 39 but a low of 16. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now here is some gospel here on the Maze Jackson Show.
Do it the best you can. Whatever you do, do it the best you can. Whatever you do it the best you can. Whatever you do for the Lord, do it the best you can. Do it the best you can. Why don't somebody? Your best is needed in the world today. People are living, dying in the worst way. So I'm calling out the humble. Will the humble stand and pray? Whatever you do for the Lord, watch God, He'll make a way. He'll come right away. You can show it today. Whatever you do, you can do it the best you can. Whatever you do, oh, do it the best you can. Whatever you do, you do it. Whatever you do for the Lord, do it the best you can. Do it the best you can. Why don't somebody in your spare time read Philippians 4, verse 8 through 9. Paul gives us some suggestions you can start when you get time. In my opinion, I want you to be the best you can be. We all know that it starts from your knees. So He'll give you what you need. We know prayer changes things. Whatever you do,
Whatever you do, oh, do it. Whatever you do, whatever you do,
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. That's Pastor Terrence Keys. Do it the best you can. Speaking about doing it the best you can, we want to do our best for our family that joined us today on WBGX 1570 AM. You can catch us every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 on WBGX 1570 AM. 872-259-7474. That is the number if you are calling in. But shout out to everybody who is tuned in to WIIFTBP Radio on WBGX 1570 AM. Also, cannot forget the Lion's Den. You know, the Den is something special. If you're not, the Lion's Den in and of itself is on Facebook Live. We got our YouTube audience. Don't forget Twitter and Twitch. Riis, trying to decide if I'm going to go ahead and get this Roku channel. So y'all could just go ahead, put us in the box. Turn us on, put the little app on the bottom of your TV and be like, it's us, y'all. But you know, we're going to have to... That would require a little time and energy investment. But we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Riis. Okay, so yesterday, Sunday morning, I woke up. I don't know if you noticed. Well, you probably don't notice, Riis, because you be working. But Sunday mornings is usually like my catharsis day. You know what a catharsis is? Catharsis is when you, it's like a release. It's like when you let it all out. And so a lot of times the things that happen to me during the week build up, and then I'll be on Sunday morning having rants like da-da-da-da-da-da, whether it's the government, whether it's whatever. But you know, I've got this newfound perspective since my carjacking, where I feel like I'm starting to use these moments as a lesson. So, Riis, a little bit later, I'm going to tell you about how much love. Well, I'm going to tell you now. First of all, thank you to Chicago. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So many times y'all hear me tell stories about when I went out and this happened and that happened and this happened and that happened and somebody did whatever. Friday night, shout out to Alderman Stephanie Coleman. Went to her event. Riis, the people, regardless of the people that be hating, the people that show you love, like, you know when they say love outshines hate? Love straight up outshines hate. I went to Stephanie Coleman's event. Shout out to the alderman. She did a great job, committeeman, her mom's birthday. But Riis, at the event, off the chain, man. People was like, what's up, what's up? And all the people who be hating was watching. So they, like, it would be like all the people who you would expect to, they was like, oh my God, Maze Jackson, I listen. And it was like the white people, right? So all the black people who be talking crazy was, and the white people like, man, can I take a picture? They sent a picture there. He's like, he took it. Look who I'm with. And then it's like this, he's showing me like the texts going off and all it was crazy. And so it was like, then the people who was halfway acting like they was who be halfway scared to talk to you in public because they scared somebody, then they all start kind of saying what's up, right? Like the people who would be like, oh, he's toxic, oh, he's the terrible, oh, he's the devil. It was like when they saw the love of all the, it was, and I'm saying this from the standpoint of, like, so I'll put it in, let me stop. Saturday, my man Vince Bass, like, man, Joe, Big Mark got us courtside. Big Mark got us courtside at what's the matter, Reese? You be making them faces, I be seeing it. Somebody talking smack, don't make me. All right. So I was like, my man Vince Bass called me, say, man, we got you courtside at the DePaul versus Loyola game. Big Mark want to make sure you and your son straight get to kick it, whatever. Reese. Now, first of all, I ain't. They showed Mark Aguirre. They showed, like, it was like the first time. We're going to talk to Big Mark today. Reese, that was crazy. To see how them DePaul people reacted to Mark Aguirre when they put him on the big screen, that was off the chain. But the whole time we was at the game, it was like, people was like, what's in it for the black people? Man. Like, it wasn't a lot of black people at that game. But the black people that was at the game, Reese, loved to death. Straight up like, man, we tune in, don't stop. Yeah, I know you can't see me. I don't never say nothing, but I'm there, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was not blah, blah, blah. It was like that. Then we left there, and we went to the Chicago Elite Classic. Shout out to Dr. Eric Whitaker. Reese, get to the Chicago Elite Classic. You know, sometimes, man, I get a little nervous. You know how when you go to put your name on the list, or, you know, and it be like, it used to be a time when I was out here, it would be like, they'd be like, oh, we can't, you know, it was like just a given. Show up to the door, they like, we got you VIP. Oh, no, Mr. Jackson, you go to that VIP. Oh, that VIP. Shout out to the Whitakers, because they took it to the next level, Reese. They took it to the next level. So, Reese, the whole time I have been getting all this love, it's one nigga. One. And it was like he was trying to shade me on the carjacking. Right? And I'm like, man, I mean, how you get carjacked by a white boy? Like trying to stunt. Sort of like out of control, like to the point where, have you ever had somebody, did you see True Story? You know the white boy on the plane who was like just, right? You know the white boy on the plane, like, it was like you really are pushing your envelope and you just being obnoxious, trying to be funny but obnoxious. To the point, Reese, where I literally stopped talking and was like, you know you blowing me, right? Like, I mean, imagine me and you having a conversation in some mug like that, and I stop and I'll be like, you blowing me. He like, and then I stop and say, like, the next time, you really are effing blowing me. Like, straight up, dog. What's your problem? And then it kind of like, was I supposed to die? Did you want me to die? Right? Like, what was your point? So, Reese, I was going to get up yesterday and write this long post about, and I was going to put his name in it, and I was going to be like, and you know, a guy tapped me on the shoulder. And he said to me, nah, everywhere you went yesterday, everywhere. Bro, you was courtside everywhere. You had VIP status everywhere. People showed you love. Your son is looking like, Dad, my dad plug. You got everything you want. And the only thing you gonna post about is, dude. So guess what? I wrote a post about grateful. Now God is still working on me. Right? But Reese, it was a good feeling. I'm gonna tell you what too, Reese. We got to get our promotions department together. Because you should have been at that, right? Like, if you would have went to that and people would have saw you there, well, they probably wouldn't have seen you and known you. But if you would have been like, I'm Reese at the VIP, they'd have been like, Reese, damn, you would have been kicking it. And I didn't.
Don't invite me nowhere into that adoption paperwork go through, but it's okay. It's okay.
We should and it was crazy. Shout out to the Whitakers though. They showed my big bro Donnie Kirksey some love. Shout out to Dion. They acknowledged him on the court. It was crazy to be. It was good. Man, Reese, it was good to see all the kids. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later because it actually, I have it in a different story. Because I felt like I saw the same thing happen to Mark Aguirre this weekend. And I feel like it's the moment where Like, if you would have seen me talking to dude at that point, I would have looked like the jackass. Right? In spite of his jackassness, the story would have been Maze Jackson was like, he was just rude to dude, etc. When dude was taking all types of liberties. And so I saw this thing and it said, be wary of people who take advantage of awkward social situations to advance themselves. So it was an interesting time. So anyway, shout out to actually Chicago, because it was black and white, and it was love. And you know what else, Riis? A lot of people saw that being Blagojevich. I was feeling sort of kind of famous, sort of. Then when I realized it was number 2 on Netflix, on Hulu, in the country, I was like, oh. I hear even people who don't like me calling saying, oh, you were phenomenal in that. Riis, we gonna make it one day, dog. One day we gonna be famous. We gonna be famous. And I'm gonna have my headphones in my chair waiting for me. I'm gonna get my own chair. I'm gonna get it a different color. And I'm gonna be like, y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Just make sure you don't touch my chair and my thing. Riis, it's the Maze Jackson show. I got a question. Why don't you get the big voice ready? Because I'm about ready to do the thing. You ready? All right, come on, hit me with the big voice.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Riis, what role do parents play in their kids' actions? And before you get ready to get upset, before y'all say, I'm always talking about the black kids downtown, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about these 2 white parents whose son shot up the Oxford High School with the gun that they bought him. 4 people dead. The school called, said, take him home. They said, no, thank you. He kills 4 people, shoots up the school. They hide. They get caught. Now they are arraigned at $500,000 each for involuntary manslaughter. Riis, what is the role of parents in their kids' activities? And it was funny because before I started talking about it, remember I was talking about, you was like, don't even say it. You saw what happened to the white McDonald's man. And y'all was all ready for me to be talking about the black kids downtown instead of the white serial killer in Michigan. Now, I first want to know, do you agree or disagree that the parents should be charged? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. What role do parents have in the actions of their kids? The state of Michigan has deemed that the son, that the parents of this mass shooter are liable for his actions. Should they be prosecuted? They said they were trying to turn themselves in, but apparently that's not what happened. And then I got to ask, was they terrorists or something? Like, because the dude's apartment at the art gallery, that's a whole nother story. His name was Andrzej Sikora. I felt like, man, like, you know, I feel like what's that show like where you watch where they've been spies their whole life? And they grow up and the parents is like, all right, it's time to do the do. I mean, it almost felt like one of them parents that strap a, Riis. Are we talking? Okay. It almost feel like when those parents strap the bomb on their kids in Saudi Arabia or something. Like, they said that they saw the kid drawing. He was looking up bullets the first day. The next day he came to school and he was doing drawings. And it was blood everywhere and it was bullets and it was people being splattered all over the place. Riis, I guess, what role do parents have in their kids' actions? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Now, before you go too crazy, I was just thinking about, did your parents know where you were when you was a kid? When you left out the house, did your parents know where you went, what you did? How much, did anybody do dirt and then go home and nobody knew that they was in it? What role do the parents have in this situation? I am all for these parents getting prosecuted, but I got a question. So first, let me ask you, do you think the parents should be charged? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Should the parents be charged with this? Now, they bought the gun. They took him to school. When the school said take him home, they said no. Mom said, don't do it. Like, how they even know what he was doing? That's a whole nother part, I guess. Riis, what you think, man? Should the parents be charged in this situation? I mean, they bought the boy the gun. They drove him to school. School said he got problems. The counselor said, they said take him home. They said, the parents said, absolutely not. We got to go back to work. I ain't got time for this. Then, no later, does he shoot up the school. 4 people dead. Another mass shooting. Charge the parents or not?
No.
Explain, Riis.
I think we all see we've all seen a child that probably had an incredible life and still turned out bad. You know, this is like a preacher's son. Like if I'm just saying, if you're a son of a preacher, you know, that man living of God. So if that man turned to like a gangster or do like a game banker do, and he go out and shooting people, but his father is preaching the word every Sunday, Friday, all this, is it, who fault should it be? Like, should we put the preacher in jail now? And we know he preaching the word? So they're responsible for their own actions.
According to Minister Mays, if they paying the 30%, we can give them a pass. At 10, though, they might get it.
So it's just like, you really didn't think about it. Like, you really don't know. Sometimes it's rebellion children, like I said, like example, like I can use me. Like, I grew up in a good home, but I was just hard-headed. I just wanted to see, you said, hey, do not go right. And I'm like, okay. When you turn your head, I peek right. I wanted to see. So like sometimes you just have that kid that goes off to his own self, even if you have the best home training. So now you got this person that's this parent that's working 2 jobs, doing whatever they need to do, make sure that the kid is good, trying to set, like good examples, but don't have time to be there. This kid may feel neglected or may get bullied in school or something like that and takes it overboard and shoots somebody. It's not really that parent fault.
Wait a minute. They said the mom said don't get caught.
So now then you charge him. Then you charge him. Then you charge him.
Oh, Lord. He 15 years old. I'm going to tell you what I feel like. I feel like this is another Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, I feel like we finna start seeing these Kyle Rittenhouses pop up all over the place.
How do you even charge a 15-year-old that killed 4 people? Did you give him life?
Well, I would say yes, but then you know what would be thrown back at me? And here's the challenge. So do anybody call on this? Because I really want to hear y'all's thoughts on this. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Should the parents be charged? Do you think the parents should be charged? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. We got any callers? No? Nobody want to talk about it? All right, let's talk to them. Call it. Oh, okay, hold on. We're getting it together. Use the other phone if you need to, if it's too much problem. You ready? All right, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Y'all are saying So James says, is it legal for a 15-year-old to have a gun? I guess. Hold on. They knew all of that. The little boy was a little terrorist in the making. The parents just as much as fault as he are. See, I feel like it sounded like the parents was like some.
See, that's like
They be breeding their kids to be little soldiers. Let's see, do we have a social security number? See, I be feeling like white folks be like, all right, we know how to do this. Caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show. Should the parents be charged?
Good morning, Mace. This is Courtney.
What's up, Courtney? Oh, Courtney Bilbro, shout out to 761. What up, boy?
Nothing much. How y'all doing this morning?
We good, man. We good. Talk to us.
All right. Well, one of the first things is, I think you said that, just going by what you said, that the parents bought the gun for him. That's a crime in itself because you can't legally possess a handgun until you're 21 years of age. And that's a federal crime, and it's a state crime in Illinois. I'm pretty sure in Michigan it's the same way. A lot of states have that. They base the laws off the federal laws. So they couldn't possibly buy a firearm, a handgun, for someone that's under 21. Now, in some states, you can buy a handgun, not a handgun, but a rifle or a shotgun for kids that's maybe 17 or 15. And but Illinois, you have to be 18 years of age. So, yes, the parents, I blame the parents. There's no way he should have got a hold of that firearm. One of the things you have to learn, and which every instructor should teach, is what's safe about it, how to secure your firearm. If your instructor doesn't teach you how to secure your firearms, then you can be held negligent in your actions.
Look at that. That's why you got to know the rules. That's why, hey, Corey, we're going to get you on. Man, you let me know one day. You can come on this week if you want to. Come Friday if you got time. Let me know what date you got. But we definitely want to have 761 on 761 Gun Club. This is the Mace Jackson Show. We got to know the rules, the regulations. Should those parents have been charged? Be interesting. What's up, Riis? We got calls? All right, we're going to take some calls, but let's take a quick break. Well, let's take this call, and then we'll take a break. Call you on the Mace Jackson Show. Should the parents be charged? Call?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely so. This is Brother Cozy, 78 years old.
What's up, brother? How you feeling today? Thank you for calling.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had to do it because I listen to you every day. You know, that I can in the mornings when I wake up. And, you know, that's something that, you know, should be enforced. The parents must teach the kids.
Okay. I'm with that. Thank you, first of all, Riis. I mean, you know, I'm telling you, man, we got a senior mob. We got a senior mob out there. I tell you, they gonna come out, they gonna get you with let me know. They gonna come get you. Look, it's the Mace Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break. We got any more callers on this? We're gonna take your calls. Plus, after we take the calls, we're gonna talk about, what did I say I was gonna talk about at 7 o'clock? At 7 o'clock, we're gonna talk about my block, my hood, my city. Did you hear what happened this weekend? The workers got robbed while distributing Christmas lights, and then the Christmas tree got burned. If anybody knows Donna Hampton Smith and can get her on the line to call us in, we'd love to talk to her as well. Look, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
WIIFTBP.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 7:04 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. Now on the traffic on the Kennedy now, O'Hare to the Loop is up to 33 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare is also up to 25 on the Edens. Inbound from Deerfield, 34 minutes. Exchange back out to Deerfield is still 28. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 40 minutes. The 31 minutes back out to Thorndale. On the Stevenson, from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 52 minutes, 32 minutes outbound. The Bishop Ford is 40 minutes from I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 32 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan has moved up to 16 minutes to the Loop, 15 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive, it stayed the same. South side, 7 minutes, 55th to Jackson. Jackson back to 55th, 8 minutes north. Randolph to Bryn Mawr, Bryn Mawr to Randolph. Today's weather, it is still currently 34 degrees and cloudy. Today will be a high of 39 and a low of 16. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now here's So Good on the Maze Jackson Show.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, there's turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put that clothes on. Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put that clothes on, girl, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I wanna check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me all that you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put your grown on. It's something about you when you put your clothes on. When you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? When you're at the job just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor giving more. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting your own woman on. Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done and your nails done, when you put the grown on, girl, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good?
WIIFTBP.
to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
If you ain't trying to help us, don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed and soft. In the mirror, realize you great. Yeah, we always argue with our brothers, but ain't nobody gonna take our place. To stay in tune and stay on top about who forward, about who not. Just green light all the black economy. Then watch all the shooting don't stop. To my black people in power, just remember we put you in power. If you really wanna save all the black princesses, be Mario and I Bowser. They gave us a hard job. We gon' make it if we do it together. Divided before, we gotta evolve. With confidence, you are ready before you started. With no confidence in the people, we always gon' be defeated.
What's in it for me? What's in it for you? Who's telling the lies? Who's telling the truth? Black people realize the sun shines for you. So stop the divide. See what melanin do. What's in it for the black people? Lies we heard before. You gotta do more than listen. Action with on a count of three. Let's run. We're black people. Being black. We can grow. I love being black. Me say it. Black people. I love being black. I said we can grow. I love being black.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. We fly in the soul plane as compared to the, what we call it, the love cloud. Yeah, I told you, don't forget, if you go to Vegas, you want to be in the Mile High Club. I feel like, well, they should call us and we should get a sponsorship or some deal. $9.95. What was it? $8.95. $9.95 and $1,400 if you want to fly and be part of the Mile High Club. This is the soul plane, not the love bubble. But I look, if y'all want to pay me $500, I'll let you do it in the back seat of the Porsche. I won't be in the car, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And you got to put plastic down. But for $500, work it out.
For $500, I ain't put no plastic down. You better use something to clean your car.
No, that's the experience, bro. You get it. Anyway, Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis, the ruler, and it is not even Monday. We talking crazy. All right. I was back to this though. Should the parents be charged? There is a Facebook Live poll. So if you're on Facebook Live, you feel free to vote. Currently, 94% of you say yes, the parents should be charged. 6% of you say no. Riis look like the preacher going to jail, Riis. The preacher is going to jail. Now, I would scale this up. Would you say the same thing if it wasn't a white shooter? Right? Like when the people be like, because Mayor Lightfoot did say, get y'all damn kids. Now, when the McDonald's CEO said it, some of y'all was with it, some of y'all wasn't with it. Who the hell do you think he is? But, I mean, essentially, if they charge these white kids, parents, do you think they're going to start charging? Is that open the floodgate for parents to be getting charged in their 15-year-old child's murder? Like, right? Think about how that come back in the neighborhood. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Facebook Live poll says 95% of you say yes, the parents should be charged. Let's go to the live line. Carly on the Maze Jackson Show. Should the parents be charged?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, man.
What up, James?
I want to say, hey, what's up, brother, man?
I see you on Facebook too, dog. Yeah, that's James Turner on the live line.
Yeah, that's me. I want to say I don't think the parents should be charged because in the state of Michigan, if the kid is under 18, as long as they're under supervision, the child can have a gun. But because he chose to grab the gun and go out on his own, that had nothing to do with his parents. They can't stop him from doing what he wanted to do. So I don't think the parents should be charged, but they should charge the hell out of that kid for what he did. Yeah, and that's just the way the law is, in the state of Michigan. That's basically what I wanted to add. I wanted to say something else, but I can't even think of it right now. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I'm glad you have these conversations so that we can speak on these things that don't seem so obvious, and just have a conversation, and I enjoy listening to you every day. I don't see the pretty girls, but, you do what you want to do.
Look, that's funny. I was thinking about you this weekend, James. I was at the Chicago Elite Classic, and I was sitting talking to Darlene Hill, and she was like, Maze, I loved how you did on the news, etc. I said, Darlene Hill, would you come in and sit down and do the Maze Jackson Show? She said, anytime, just invite me. And I was thinking about that for people like you who said, find a pretty girl to sit up in the chair. So we're going to work it out. And then and Ruthie be...
Darlene Hill is definitely a beautiful woman. And can't wait to see Ruthie again. Just get that mic out of her face.
All right, James, we appreciate you, man. James be in the comments getting down, too. Lions Den, I'll be seeing James trying to get one of the, he want a host so he can get one. Right? I think he like whoever sitting in that seat. If it's a female, James like, get that mic out of Ruthie. You should see him in the comments. He be, get out. Tell Ruthie move over just a little bit. Tell her to hold it just a little bit. All right, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Who else on the live line? Should the parents be charged? Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What's your name? Good morning. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, Maze. Good morning, Riis.
It's Cassandra Max. What's up? Olympia Fields in the building, and I seen you all weekend. I appreciate you. Love you much. What's going on, sis?
Say that. This topic is so important because even though Riis is a little Pollyannish with his answer, I get that. But this is a case-by-case situation. We're talking about this white couple. We're talking about this white boy. My kids, I knew when my kids was regular. I had control over my kids. I had control over their movements, what they did in my home and outside of the home. That's all a part of parenting, right? So this particular parent here, they bought the gun for him. They were championing him using the gun, not to kill anybody, but just giving him access to the gun. Because if he didn't have access, they could have locked the gun up. There are several ways of locking up your gun, your firearm. Also, too, when the parents was called up to the school, they left the kids there. They're like, not on my watch. It's your turn to babysit. I'm going back to work. Then they didn't even, when they called the parents, the DEA called the parents, they didn't arrest the parents. They didn't tell them to come in. The parents took $4,000 out of their bank account. They were on the run. They left the kids there. They're like, he better fend for himself. We out of here. So this is a case-by-case situation. And in the school system, if I didn't send my kids to school, I'm subject to go to jail. So they are responsible. Point blank, period.
Okay, Cassandra. I'm going to let you have a part of that, but I got to tell you, you ain't know everything your kids did.
That's what I was just going to say.
I'm just saying, look, you
real?
control. Let me just tell you, I had the most restrictive parents ever. I got a job just so I could violate the rules. I went to work every day in a McDonald's uniform and closed every single night. Riis, there was an hour and a half window because if you closed, we would close. We would have the store ready to close at 10 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock, you could come in and order anything you wanted. By 10:15, we was out the door. It took me 10 minutes to get home, which meant that I had a whole hour and 30 minutes just to be out and about. And guess what? In that hour and a half, we was in every loud parking lot doing every any way we could, whatever.
That's a fact.
And don't let me spend the night at nobody's house. Because the white kids, if you spent the night at the white kids' house, they was like, we sneaking out. That was just like, we out the white kids had the screen ready. Like, as soon as they parents, and you know, white parents don't look in. Once you in the room, they can lock their door. You know, black people, you can't even close your door to go to sleep. I was here, Chris was like, ain't no closed doors in my house. But it's like, that was kind of our house. Why your door closed? And they always popped in. White kids, they was out the Kerberowskis. Oh, Joe, we was out the window. And then the crazy part was they had a treehouse, so their parents would let them sleep outside. Bro, sleep outside, that meant we was outside. Sister Jackson had no clue.
Thought you was over your little bro. She's over
bro,
Jacob's house.
I'm just telling you.
He said James' house.
There was, look, Riis, I had a saxophone. You know what the saxophone was? That was where my stash was. I'm telling you, it's like you parents, you don't like, and we didn't even have no cell phones. So once I did my chores, I had until, and Bolingbrook, you could be anywhere in Bolingbrook. Bro, we had wars. We was shooting firecrackers at each other. We was playing war games, all type of stuff. We was ordering stuff out of Soldier Fortune magazine, having it come to the house and playing. Man, we had Rambo knives, everything. I had a whole arsenal in the tool shed. Look, Joe, Mom, I'm just telling you. So, Riis, we was on 31st Street Beach. I lived in Bolingbrook. We was on 31st Street Beach every weekend.
She probably thought you was at your friend's house or something.
31st Street Beach. Twin got shot on 31st Street Beach. Like, from Bolingbrook at 31st Street Beach. You ain't know where your kids is all the time. I love you, Cassandra, but I'm just telling you. I'm not crazy. I got kids, I'll be like, okay. All right.
Right.
You all right?
Where you going?
I'm going
okay.
to, and then it be the same. They was downtown.
Yeah.
They was at the game. Okay, it's okay. Next caller. Call you on the Mace Jackson show. I love you, Cassandra, but I'm just telling you. And our kids are the best at it, too. Mom. Go ahead.
Good morning, mate.
Oh, Byron. Uh-oh. Byron. Should we lock up the parents or not? Good morning.
Hey, the guy right before the lady called, he gave you what the law says about the 17-year-old can buy. The parents can buy the gun for the 17-year-old. It's just
He's
the
15,
law.
bro. He 15.
He
15.
Pardon me?
He was 15.
He's under 17. He's under 17. They can buy the gun for him in Michigan. This is not Illinois. This is not Chicago. It's Michigan law. Okay?
Okay.
And if you start charging parents for what kids do, you're going down a slippery slope, just like you said. Now, just think all the black kids here in Chicago. Who gave the kids the money? They should be charged, right? Because the kid went out and shot somebody, or he carjacked somebody. It's a slippery slope, but you got to follow the law.
Okay, Byron. Let me say this.
And you're right. And you're right about kids. I mean, it's like if I sell you a hammer and you go and knock somebody off the head and kill somebody with a hammer, am I to blame to sell you the hammer because you came to my store and bought a damn hammer? The person that did the act. It's the person that did the act that should be charged, mate, and you know it. It's like the Kyle situation in Wisconsin. Oh, he took a gun across the state line. That was not even true. But if somebody not gonna hit a skateboard upside your head and you don't react to it and shoot the son of a gun, then you stupid. You gotta follow the law. That's all I'm saying. But don't go down that slippery slope because all these black parents will be incarcerated and y'all be crying out racism. I'm sick of that racism crap. I'm sick of it. Where's Reese at? Help me out, Reese.
Hey, you know I'm with you, man. I already said it, man. You can't do it. You can't do it, man. These kids out here, they doing what they want to do. I'm working 2 jobs, and you out here shooting people. Like, what you want me to do? And it's a law. I gave you the gun. It's technically, it is his gun. The law said I can give him a gun. I ain't say and go and shoot nobody. We took a class that taught you how to use it. You shot somebody's son.
Juicy. Look, look at Juicy's defense lawyers taking over again. Look, I do think this is interesting conversation, and Byron, you have hit on my point. You did it before I was going to do it, which is like a lot of people are like, yes, they should be charged, but I would ask the question of how does that apply if this happens and they're charged? If the gun was at the house after if they shot the video for 74 dead ops in the basement of the crib where everybody got a Glock and a machine gun, and who house is that? You ain't know that was happening in your basement where 35 kids was down there with 20 drums and whatever, and this video led to the killings of the blah, 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 and mama gonna say, I ain't know? Mama, how many times has a parent said, come get your kid from school? Mom like, man, I ain't, man.
I'm at work.
I'm at work, boy. The kid don't get in trouble for what he did in school. He got in trouble because the mama that's got to work got to take time off the job. Now, I will caution you because I'm still looking at this poll, and y'all are 98% say the parents should be charged. Only 8% say that they should not. And I think Byron hit on a real point, which is, how does this translate then if it's black kids? It's the Mace Jackson Show. That's why that McDonald's CEO said the parents failed. Now, he should be out here saying the same thing, but I am going to tell you that if it's going to happen to white people, then you can expect that when it happens to black people, it's going to be 10 times worse. So if they're going to charge this white family with this, right, then that means that when it's your turn, they coming with the choppers. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show. Should the parents be charged?
Good morning. No, I don't. That's not a good charge for them. I think they should be charged with contributing to the delinquency. However, let me make the quick point that I haven't heard nobody make. I'm playing the race card. Racism is the reason that white young boy killed them 4 white kids, because if that boy was named Taekwon and he had some melanin in his skin, he would have been charged for that note. He'd have been in jail. No way would the parents be allowed to say, no, keep him in school. And them kids wouldn't be dead. But because of the racism of the white people, not being able to see the white person as a threat, the white person was able to kill them white kids. And that's all I need to say. People need to realize racism can kill more ways than one. No country, I don't care how blue the state is, if there was a black kid drawing them notes, that boy would have been in jail. They would have called his parents to come to the police station, not to come to the school.
That
so
dang.
That's all I want.
That was a great point. That was a great point. That might have been a winner right there. Like that might have been like the, you know, when you playing bid. Oh, you don't play bid. You don't know how to play bid. I do. Well, pow! That's when you slap. That's when you got. That's when you finna run. That was a good one. The racism of the. That's how I got carjacked. Riis. It don't. Right? Remember, like, think about the story of the carjacker. Think about the story of who the shooters are. Woo, that was a good one, caller. Good one. Hey, on the Mace Jackson Show, we got any more on that line? Should the parents be charged? It's still, y'all still saying, that argument swayed a little bit. That argument might have swayed y'all just a little bit. It's now 90% to 10%. Y'all still saying the parents should be charged. But that argument worked. Should the parents be charged in the Oxford, Michigan shooting? Caller.
What's up? What's up, man? This James Say, bro.
What up, James?
I'm going to tell you. Check this out, bro. I voted yes. But piggybacking on Byron and the lady that just previously called, bro, this is the overplay for the underlay. Watch this.
Right.
As quote-unquote somebody on another station said, watch your setup. Now, what I'm saying to say is, if these parents get charged, just like they said, we going to get it 10 times worse. And you said it. We're going to get it 10 times worse. Because the first place they're going to come is after us. No, once a black kid posts that on Facebook, holding a gun, they kicking their dough in. They ain't even going to wait for them to try to turn themselves in and come to school. Bro, their house getting raided and the kid getting picked up from school.
Now, let me ask a question.
That being said,
let me ask you a question. Should they, though? Right, like should they? Should they? I mean, go ahead.
In this situation, bro, yes. Because, but like Byron say, if that's the law, that's the law. But it's a wrong law. They need to fix it, which they are. But we know how laws is designed for black people. When, like they say, when white people catch a cold, we get the flu. So the whole thing is the tidal wave is going to come towards us. This is a way to round up the carjackers, the rappers, anybody that get on Facebook, toting guns, throwing up money. That, hey, it's on and cracking. Nah, it's going to open the floodgates, bro. This one situation is going to open up a whole lot of floodgates for black people.
It's interesting. I want to talk about... Go ahead.
Like Lori said, get your kids.
Oh.
Because they're going to get you and your kids.
Oh, I heard that. That's deep. That's the Mace Jackson Show. Let me tell you, James, I want to tell you thank you for calling in. That was a good one. We got one more caller on this. Let's take it. Caller, give us a call, 872-259-7474. You still can call regardless. We still want to know your thoughts. It is now Riis. They done just went back up. 91% to 9% say yes, the parents should be charged on our Facebook Live poll. Hey, it's the Negrotific poll, actually. Hey, it's the Mace Jackson Show. Caller, you on the call. Who is it? Who that?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, this is Dion. Here's my thing. I'm saying no, the parents shouldn't be charged. And a lot of
you got us on speaker?
For this.
Do you got us on speaker?
I'm sorry about that. Hold on.
Take us off speaker if you don't mind.
All right, hello?
Much better. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my bad. Sorry about that. Right. I'm saying no, the parents shouldn't be charged. And for all the black people that's cheering for this, you better be careful because after this go through and whatever they decide to do with the parents, from now on out, it's open season. And if you think that they're not going to come back, and like you say, your kids, like you said, you could be at work, you can have absolutely no knowledge of what is going on. Man, they come in to get you. They're going to start. This is another way to start mass incarcerating us. Just because it started it with them, that doesn't mean it's going to end with them. So we got to be careful for what we wish for.
All right, caller. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Right. I appreciate your call. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Young Buck? All right. You know what? When y'all call us, tell us what part of the city or suburbs you calling from. I want to know where you're calling from. Like, did you hear it on the radio? You listening to us? Whatever. What's going on? Riis, should the parents be charged? I think as they tell this story, yes. But I am, it's interesting because I think it sounds simple to say, parents, where your kids. I was just thinking about the fact, Riis, that, you know, my son is like he pressing me now, right? Like we driving, he done put his 20 plus hours in, he pressing. He want a car. He wants his license. When I give him the keys to that car and allow him to go, Riis, I'm going to say don't go downtown. You know where he going to go? Downtown. Because that's where all the kids are, right? And it's like where the mobs and all of them, because we're going to talk about that, because where do the kids go? Right? Like I was looking at the Chicago Elite Classic, Riis, and I was saying, dag, with all of these kids, where are they going to go after this? And it was like, Riis, it was like being at a high school where you expect that the kids are teenagers. So they going to be acting wild and they going to be rowdy and fun and packed up and all of that stuff and do the things that teenagers do. And I was thinking because I was thinking about this whole scenario with the Michigan parents, because the mayor said, get your kids because of what happened downtown. We're comparing it to this same situation, but it's so much different. And I was just thinking, where do the kids go? Where do black kids have to go to do? What did we do when we were kids? Like, where did we go, right? Like, I was thinking about, like, when people went to we were talking about how we miss IIT, right? Remember, like, all the... Where do we go? Look, we'll talk about it more when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? It is now 7:36 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your traffic and weather update. And traffic things got a little congested now. So on the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop is now 40 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare is 27. On the Edens, Deerfield to the Circle, 45 minutes. Circle back out to Deerfield, 34. Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 54 minutes. 34 minutes back out to Thorndale. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan, it's an hour and 14 minutes. Outbound 34. The Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan will be 45 minutes. 37 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 17 minutes to the Loop, 14 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive, South 55th to Jacksonville, to Jackson to 55th is now 8 minutes. The north side of things, Randolph to Bryn Mawr 8, Bryn Mawr to Randolph 9. Today's weather, it is currently 34 and still cloudy. Today will be a high of 39 and a low of 16. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now here's Valerie here on the Maze Jackson Show.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think of all the things, what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on Why don't you come on over, Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler, and soon to be in the building. NBA should be Hall of Famer. Former #1 draft pick in the entire NBA. He is here, Riis, because I'm calling, so maybe you can go grab him. Mark, he's getting ready to come grab you in a second. But Mark Aguirre will be in the building as him. He is here shortly. But these parents, so it's a couple things I wanted to talk about today before Mark gets in here, because we're going to have an in-depth conversation. We're going to get it in from 8 to 9. But right now, 90% of you are saying that the parents should be charged. Let me ask a question. In the city of Chicago, do you think parents should be charged if their children participate in illegal activities? See, because I believe in my mind that we can't look at the practical application. We have to look at the application of it 10 times more severe when it comes to us. And I think it's very easily expandable to a parent having knowledge or having not being aware, right? Because this essentially would be, the argument would be the parents were not aware of what he was going to do with the gun. And that then comes into a whole nother level of accountability that I got to ask you. I feel like some of you are like, man, the parents of carjackers or people should be charged. Based on my experience, I wouldn't be upset with the parents, my own personal experience. Because I got jacked by a white guy. But when we think about how will these laws be applied to us as black people, that's when we have the challenge. Riis, anybody else on that line? Nobody called on that? All right, so I want to move on because I want to talk about two things. Now, let me tell you, NBA soon-to-be Hall of Famer, DePaul, #1 draft pick in the universe. The greatest, he was at that time the greatest basketball player in the country. Mark Aguirre is going to be sitting in here. He was Dallas Maverick. Before y'all talk about some Luka Doncic, talk about that. Man, nobody want to hear about the white joker. We know Mark Aguirre. You can't. I'm just telling you, you can't be telling me that stuff when I know Mark. You can't put the white boy up there. You cannot have Eminem. I do not believe that. I will not give the best basketball. Nope, not happening. So there it is. We got our man Mark Aguirre in the building. Former Detroit bad boy. You know what I can't wait to ask him though? I'm going to have to ask him about Pippen. I got to ask him. Because for it, Anyway, I got stuff. I got questions. Because I could never imagine Mark being like, oh, Isaiah wasn't all that. If it wasn't for me. Right? Like, so we're going to talk about how that all works and revisionist history and just all of the good stuff. I can't wait to talk to. Man, y'all would have seen how I'll tell y'all about it all in a little while. So, Riis, you heard about my block, my hood, my city? If anybody knows Donna Hampton and can get her to Neil or Juan to call in, I'd love to talk to Donna Hampton. Because, Riis, my block, my hood, my city, this week, their workers they had two unfortunate incidents. First, Riis, they were distributing Christmas lights from 35th Street to 112th. Their workers got robbed. Now, Riis, who gonna rob the good old white folks that done came to the neighborhood to help spread Christmas cheer?
Those kids that parents thought they mama knew everywhere they was going. I don't know, but that's sad. But man, what you know?
That was so. I'll be honest. I have not always. I look at that with a jaundiced eye as far as Big Mark in the studio. He about to take your spot. He getting ready. Watch, he gonna box you out. He gonna box you out the board, right? So anyway, I gotta ask you, Riis, that the people came to the neighborhood to put up Christmas lights and they got robbed. Riis, how does that happen? Like, who robs people putting Christmas lights up in the neighborhood? Really? Like, did they look like a sweet lick? You know what I'm saying? Like, did the white people show up? Or who were they collaborating in the neighborhoods that they were going into so that somebody would be like, hey, Joe, stand down. Hey. You know how it'd be like, they cool, they straight. They straight. So, Riis, who robs the people that came to put out the Christmas lights? Then did you hear the second part of the story? So you know when you go by TP over on 55th and you go to Washington Park?
Yeah.
They put this big old Christmas tree right there. It was pretty dope. Somebody burnt the tree up. Like, it looked like they set it on fire. So now they're going to go get another Christmas tree and put it back up there. But it made me say, dang, black people can't have nothing. Riis, who robs the white people that came to spread Christmas cheer? That's kind of...
Them same people that jumped Jesse, Juicy. It was them same people, man.
Oh.
Now, I don't know, but that's crazy, man.
I'm not.
Unfortunately, I think we gotta say that. I think we did it. I think the black kids did it. Unfortunately, like,
should their parents be responsible?
I mean, we said it. I mean, by the pool, 90-10 said we should charge the parents. So now, in this circumstances, now let's just say that that these kids got caught with the gun. Now, do we charge the parents like you just said? Now, remember,
do you charge the parents?
Them, right? We got to charge them. 90% said yeah. So now you going to jail because your son, is out there robbing people for Christmas lights.
If your son is okay, so Riis, why do you rob people for Christmas lights?
Because you ain't got none. That's why you rob.
You think they going to hang up Christmas lights on their house? They was giving them away, so why you rob them? I don't think they robbed them for Christmas lights, Riis. I think they probably robbed them for stuff in their pockets, phones, all of that.
Listen, just go in the hood wherever you was robbed at and look at the
Hit find my iPhone.
No, look up the most lit up house. The house that got the most Christmas lights everywhere. That's where your lights at. Somebody said we ain't do that.
Okay, so I would tell you that had I not been disrespected this weekend, I probably would have asked a lot more different questions. I'm not going to, because I feel like that was probably a very traumatic experience for whoever it happened to.
Sure.
And so I'm not going. But I do think it is something to pay attention to. Particularly because the founder of my block, my hood, my city is running for Congress, right? And if this was the old days in Chicago politics, I would see this under a different light. But I think we live in a new day. So I'm going to let it go. But my block, my hood, my city, they are replacing the Christmas tree. I must tell you that I think that Christmas tree was dope. It was a really nice Christmas tree. I don't know who burns it up. And I want to see the tape. Like, I feel like that's one of them things where somebody should get the camera and play the tape. Right? Because if we could play the tape, then I think we could get an understanding of what exactly happened right there. But I do think that's the Grinchest of the Grinchest stories, though.
Man, this kids be playing, man. Like I'm for real. Like, literally, I've hung around kids that probably just say, "Hey, man, I got some Roman candles. Let's shoot at the Christmas tree." Like, kids really just be playing. Like, not like I just.
They don't think about the consequences.
No,
of it. And then once they catch up, let's go, dog. Damn, we about here.
Exactly. So like, I ain't.
So
saying
you think it's a mischievous? It could have been just a mischievous act.
You know, kids just being kids. You know, like I don't think they was like, "Let's go burn down the Christmas tree." Like, you know, just. You know, playing around, I just really think
you lit a firecracker in.
Yeah, kids just being kids, and you know, lit the Christmas tree. Now, like,
so what about the people that got robbed though?
And that's like for real, unfortunate. Like actually being robbed before, like I actually was robbed.
I have too. I bet that's a terrible feeling.
But I was robbed at gunpoint.
Me too.
At Ford City, you know, it's just like it's crazy, but in certain areas, know where you are. You know, like you know, like I just like sending like a white person to like O Block and say put some Christmas lights up. You know, like know where you are. You know area. You know you in, protect yourself. You know,
how do you protect yourself though? If you can't,
people with you. I don't know. Like,
is that on the organization? Because I think when the white people come, they just be coming like, we're going to help.
Yeah, just like collaborate with like the law enforcement, like especially
and the neighborhood. My question would be like, who is there? It seems like to me that when you go onto the land, you figure out who around on the land, and you be like, you want some Christmas lights?
And go to a well lit area. Where,
well, no, that's why they try. You saying a well lit area, but I thought that's the whole point, to light up the block.
No, you can't go to the corner of the hood and tell me
I got Christmas lights for you.
Nah. Just go to a well lit area. Protect yourself, man, because it's crazy people out here. So you know, like I understand, like you could be doing the like giving back, but it's some crazy people that really don't care. So protect yourself first, man. Nothing is worth losing your life over.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I think that Christmas time is when people get it's like the grimiest. Man, I have seen some Christmas actions. Like one day I was parked. I'll never forget this as long as I live. Man, this was during the era when we ran out of money and I was selling clothes out the trunk. And I jumped out the car because I was running in the store. And I saw this dude walking down the street. Like, this is like 63rd, like broad daylight. He looked in the dude's window, busted the window like with a thing, had a thing that just like no, not 2 hits. It was snatched the stuff out and walked out, and it was like a tool. Like, you know how it was like a tool. It was something that you could have got for like that was way out. Like, I would have been like, I wish I would have just left my car door wide open. You could have just took it, cause you took a $12 gift. You busted my window for a $12 gift, but dude was like, and he went to the next car. And one completely did not give Nam. I mean, it was Riis. I'm saying like, broad daylight. I mean, he see me staring. And I was like, just keep going that way. So I think I do think though you gotta I've been nervous about white folks coming to the hood because I always feel like when they knock on their door they lighten up the neighborhood so that you could do a tour of lights through King Drive so that they could be like, you could live here too. Once the black people are no longer here, this could be imagine what this would look like when we have it. I'm just saying, they knock on the door like, hi, we want to give you Christmas lights from Wheaton because they all moving back. They
knocked in the wrong house and somebody was like, hey, yo, listen.
Hey, Joe.
You got like 3 doors down, man. These white people finna come and knock on your door for some lights. Tell them, yeah. I approach them like, yeah,
Tell
sure.
them step in.
Tell them step in real quick. I'm going to come through. Bam, boom, boom. We get them, get it, gone. Like, for real. I'm telling you, I've really hung out with folks that
Riis,
really
you ain't gotta explain it to me.
Like,
You
that's
ain't
how
gotta
I know people is so grimy out here. Like,
Riis.
people is so grimy
Before
out
there
here.
was Uber Eats, there was deliver the pizza to the house. Man, Charlie. Ooh, we.
Just be safe out here, y'all, man. It's the holiday season, like May said. People get crazy, man. Don't leave your purse in your car. Don't leave nothing in your car. Roll your windows up. Don't leave anything of valuable in there, man. It ain't even worth it. And if you out there and you bought something, give it up, man. Give it up. It is A-OK. Try to go in groups.
Be aware of the people following you, too, because now they following people home, right? They follow you all the way from the mall. I was thinking about they follow you all the way from the mall. So, when you go blowing it up and, you just need to be paying attention, especially now they're out in places like Oakbrook Mall, Oakbrook Center. Like as people try to go out further, they'll tell you all the way to the crib. It's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm just trying to tell y'all. Riis, where do the kids go now? So I was going to talk about the story about the black kid, not the black kids, but the kids that were mobbing on Michigan Avenue this weekend. You saw that they said over 400 kids mobbed like a bus driver, and it was all type of fighting and all type of stuff. Riis, I was at the Chicago Elite Classic, and I was thinking, man, look at all of these kids in here enjoying this game, enjoying these games and having a good time. And really, I swear to God, I said, I bet you if we could turn on a DJ, hire some goon security, make sure there was no weapons, this probably would be the best place for all the teens in Chicago to be. But Riis, where do black kids get to go now? As our neighborhoods have shrunk, where do black kids go for recreation? Where do we go for recreation, right? Do they still have high school dances? Do they still, right, but we shaking our heads, but so if there is no high school dance, where are all the kids gonna go? Right? If there is no high school activity, like we went to the game on one night, McDonald's, and that ate up Friday or Saturday. Where have we made a space for our kids to go and be? And now, since we have it, we see them on the news at night, going downtown. Riis, I don't think it's really uncommon to see 400 teenagers congregating. I don't. I think that once they find a spot to congregate, it's just like when we was in college. It's still like when we adults. Like if you go to Norm's like in the summertime, the parking lot, the Norms be cracking, the patio, the parking lot, the lot across the street, and people be parked everywhere. Grown black people. They even pull out barbecue grills. If you think about all of the gatherings in the summertime, Riis, of the northern, southern, eastern, all the summer picnics and cookouts and all that, we got a lot of stuff for adults, but where is it for the kids?
And they can go skating, they go to the movies, they can go to the mall.
They go skating for 2 hours.
Okay.
I'm saying that, but skating ain't the nighttime stuff, right? Like, let me just say this. It is nighttime. But I feel like we've got to curate or narrate activities for young black kids. I do not think that, like, remember when people used to go to the Bismarck, like they would rent a ballroom and then all of the kids could go to the party and it was a hotel party, so if you wasn't old enough, remember when we used to go to the Riv? Remember when there were places that you could go in the suburbs? We had like Dillagaffs and all type of just places that were set up for teens. Juice bars. What's the place all the people used to go out to on the what? Nitro. Remember Nitro? Well, all the grown men used to go find them a 18, a 17, 16-year-old. Sorry, my bad. But I'm thinking about this because, you know, they talk about these mobs of teens. And I don't know that it's so much mobs of teens, like bad. It's like, Riis, they can't go to McCormick. I mean, they can't go to Water Tower no more. Think about it. So, you know, like, when you say go to the movies, didn't there used to be movies in the Water Tower? Well, all these malls is trying to now say kids can't even be in there. And I think about us as black parents not black parents, but this city that we live in not having a place for our young people. Riis, did y'all have anything like Crazy Rock when you was growing up? We had Crazy Rock, where everybody worked, like the whole thing was the teen club on Saturday night. And so everybody from Joliet, Romeoville, Bolingbrook, Lockport, all of them all came to this place. And Riis, were there fights in the parking lot? Yes, there were. There was even fights at the club. But it never stopped because it was equipped and it was built for it. But I was just thinking, Black Chicago, as they keep telling these stories of these roving mobs, it's not so much roving mobs, it's they've been locked out of everything, but they still gonna have fun. Riis, I remember when we couldn't get into the clubs at U of I, you know what we did? We would meet up on the quad, open up bottles, have a whole party, drinking, kicking it, smoking, not me smoking, but you know, right on the middle of the quad in the middle of the summer, and then organize a giant game of it. And hide and go seek. And we'll be running all through the buildings, playing tag, doing it. And looking back, it was pure good nature fun. And yes, there eventually some fight broke out. We got to get the guns out of this equation. Because I think if you could remove the guns from this equation, I really don't think that there's anything that we're seeing that's so outlandish. And I appreciate your explanation of the Christmas tree. Because I could imagine being like, hey man, watch this.
Just chilling.
You just playing.
Playing. And you just.
And as a kid, you don't see the consequence.
Right. You just.
And when that bad boy catch on fire, Riis, did I tell you about the time I had a car catch on fire, right? So I can imagine if a tree catch on fire, you'd be like, one time I had a car, I was driving it. I hadn't driven it all like for 2 years. So I was driving it back to Champaign and I saw smoke in the engine. So I got out and it was a little bitty fire, like little. Like if I could have spit on, I couldn't get my hand to it. I didn't have no water. I didn't have nothing. And that little bitty fire turned into like a big fire to the whole engine blew up, burned up, and the car exploded on the expressway. And it was and it was just that little bitty fire. Yep, it happened. Burned up. Car burned up on the expressway, like exploded. Boom. Like I took my dog out, snatched the clothes out, and the car went up. It was crazy. Crazy stuff. Look, anyway, you looking like, what? Anyway, Riis, I've done it all. Been there. Did I tell you about that time? Yeah, I went back for the dog. No, I wouldn't let you know, though. Let me just tell you. I know. I had a few minutes. If it was a few minutes more, we would have. I knew I had some time. Because I'm here to tell you, Asada would have been gone. I ain't messing around. Hey, you can start over with a dog. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. When we come back, NBA legend. Is it 2-time or 3-time world champion? 2-time world champion, Chicago native. Big man on campus. I seen how big just this Saturday. We got a lot to talk about in the building. Former DePaul superstar, number 1 draft pick in the NBA, former Dallas Maverick. Riis and them, that's why I be getting an attitude when they be talking about that white boy. Any of them white boys from Dallas. Dirk. What about Dirk? Man, Mark would have balled Dirk. He would have broke Dirk off. And he would have busted Luka Doncic up. It's the man in the building. Former Detroit bad boy. As well as now owner of one of the top champagnes in the world. Winning taste tests all around the world. Y'all, when we come back, it's going to be Mr. Mark Aguirre. I'll talk to you in a minute. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
What's up, everybody? It's the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share. We need you to do it right now and join us at our new day and time, Wednesdays.
From 1 to 3 p.m.
on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breaching security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater. But she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history. All because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gonna tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed. To certain rights, we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative. It's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wilding with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.
Terrorism.
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stoger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson, in the building. Hey, man. Hey, you know what? So this how I go, right? So you know how you know people? And it's like, you know, man. So I know Big Mark from TV and all the stuff and from years ago and DePaul, when DePaul was the greatest. And, you know, I remember when we was all trying to get DePaul starter jackets. Coach Mitchum was our coach at Bolingbrook High School. You know Jim Mitchum?
Yeah, Mitchum.
He was my high school coach.
Was he?
Yeah, I mean my high school gym teacher. So he used to say if you didn't have your gym uniform, he had a oar, like a boat oar, canoe. And if you didn't have it, you could either get a detention or take a swat.
Oh, they were still swatting him?
Oh God!
I didn't know they were
Coach Mitchell.
Coach Mitchum, he played with me.
That's my point.
He played with me.
You know, he then became like he was the gym teacher. Then he became
big boy over there.
Big boy over there. Big dude now.
Yeah, big boy
yep.
over there. Yeah.
Coach Mitchell.
I know Jim Mitchell. Yeah.
Yep.
Good teammate.
Hey man, Coach Mitchell. See, so that's the era I come from. In the 80s, you know, 80s my heyday, right? As a kid, graduated from high school in '89. So you know, Saturday afternoons you watch the Superstation. DePaul was kicking. See, I'm saying like DePaul was like international because it was like they played on the Superstation, which played across the country.
Nobody else had that either.
Right.
Nobody else had that. Yeah.
So Mark was the man, DePaul. Then he goes on to become the number one draft pick in the number one draft pick. Now, and I want to talk about the difference because like now and then, and just, man. Then he became a Dallas Maverick. We don't have to talk about what it was like being Mark Aguirre in Dallas.
No, it wasn't.
Back then.
It wasn't.
And being Mark Aguirre, which I just saw in full effect.
Yeah, the other day. Yeah.
On Saturday. I saw Mark Aguirre in full effect on Saturday.
You saw it, yeah. Yeah, you saw it.
Then, Mark, you left Dallas. And Mark, so during the Dallas time was during the time when we used to get the Sun Times every day in study hall. And so we would look at who was the top scorers and all of that stuff. And you was always up there.
Always, yeah.
Then you bounced. You went to Detroit and became a Detroit Piston. Yeah. Detroit Piston. But I'm saying, dog, you was like the man in Dallas. Like the man. Like you, bro, you had the green light. You could shoot anytime you wanted. Really couldn't nobody stop you. It would be like... Then, Mark, you left to go to Detroit. Yeah. Won 2 championships, which I guess is the thing where they say team. And there's some other things that I've been noticing about you and hearing that makes me think how much differently you are or you appear than what I think of now as a basketball player, because you really put the team concept ahead of yourself and your individualism. But then you got 2 rings out of it.
Yeah, I got 2. I got 2 rings out of it. You know, I think we all made a different way. You know, and my way fits me. You know, I mean, and you'll be on the ball player. You might not think like I do.
Okay,
but
talking to that mic.
I'm sorry, but I think about the end result. But I think about, you know, my own individual domination of my position also when I'm thinking about that. So, you know, I mean, I'm going to do it the right way because you're my teammate. I'm going to do it the right way. We're going to play. We're going to, you know, try to win a so-called, like the little kids, their championship.
Okay.
No matter what level you put it out.
Okay.
That's my goal. Okay. You know, to win the championship. So I'm built that way. I'm totally built that way. And a lot of times you run into, you know, different roadblocks, especially in Dallas. You know, when you talk about moving from Dallas to Michigan to play with the Pistons, is that, you know, you know me. Chicago knows me, and most of my teams know me. And it was difficult playing in for the Mavericks. Dallas is a beautiful city. I love Dallas, still got a home there. But at that time and in that era, it was difficult to be the star, and an African-American star in Dallas. Very difficult.
So let's stop, because I want to hit that, but I want to go backwards. Mark Aguirre, which is really Mark Aguirre.
Aguirre, yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Okay.
Who the heck is Mark Aguirre, and how the hell did he get from Mark Aguirre to Mark Aguirre?
Okay, first of all, you know it's a Hispanic name.
Gotcha. Right? Talk to me.
My mom came from Arkansas.
Okay.
Here, military base. Met my dad, who is Hispanic.
Okay.
Right. So, and the whole family coming from Arkansas moved to Chicago.
Okay.
Okay. So we moved to Chicago. You know, I'm a black kid. You know, and with a Hispanic dad.
Okay.
Hispanic dad. So people hadn't heard Hispanic names at that point. You know, Hispanic had their area, but inside a black school, like, it was black. You know, when we grew up, it wasn't like that. You see 2 or 3 Hispanic kids, but you didn't see it. You know, now it's just all mixed up. It's just all mixed up like that. But you didn't see that. So, but then that was rare. They're like, hold it. What's your name? How come your name like that? How come you're not Brown or, you know, Aguirre? What is you? That's Hispanic name.
Okay.
But it came from you know, the marriage of my mom and dad.
Okay.
And it just, you know, from there, I was a little different as being a black kid with a Hispanic name. So Mark Aguirre, you know, it's like.
And so who changed you? Because I feel like, didn't your granddaddy change you up on Mark to one day something happened at the game?
Oh, yeah, I told you about that. Yeah, well, see, the thing is that they were calling me everything. A query, acquire, you know, I mean, when you look at it, you don't know what it is. And he's like, what is this? You know, I couldn't speak Spanish. He would tell my dad, and my dad would tell me, he'd say, well, he don't like the fact that they're screwing his name up. And I was like, what do you mean? He'd say, that's not it. He said, tell them to say AGUIRRE.
Okay.
When they say your name. You know, because it was really, I mean, if you look at any of the films, any of the stuff on TV, especially early, they're calling me everything. Even on NBC at DePaul, they couldn't get it right. So
Mark AGUIRRE.
AGUIRRE. That's Mark AGUIRRE, yeah.
So Mark AGUIRRE, y'all move up here from Arkansas. Now, were you born in Arkansas?
No. I was born the first day my mom, matter of fact, she couldn't go home. They got her off the train and took her to the hospital.
Oh, you a straight Chicagoan then. 100%, 100%.
Ain't no leak in there.
All right,
right.
now, Mark.
Yeah.
South side or west side?
What do you mean south side or west side?
South side or west side?
Man, I ain't never had nobody ask me that.
Well, answer the question.
They know.
Because they want to hear.
They know.
What they know, Mark? Mark, what they know? Tell them. You got to go tell them.
Ask any of your listeners that's back there. Mark, west side.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you for the west side. So let me ask you. Better hoopers on the south side or west side?
Not even, no. Let's don't even go to that. We have to go to that today. I thought that was fixed. Come on. Are you kidding me?
You think the west side,
if you took the top 5 from the west side and the top 5 from the south side, y'all never win. Over.
Who on the top 5 on the west side?
Come on, man. Y'all want to help me? You can name it.
We can give Isaiah. We give you Isaiah.
Just 1, 2. That's over.
Damn.
Damn. I don't care who else you get.
Damn, you heard that,
You
Twan?
can get anybody from
Damn,
over there.
all y'all. You said all y'all. They don't care.
Please, if they thought about it and be honest with what they saying and understand not just playing, the domination of playing. I mean, like, hold it. I'm you and you put together. Now y'all might match up and be close. Y'all might be close.
Okay.
I'm not overstepping my boundaries.
I'm not, Mark. First of all, Mark, we had a
give me a South Sider, and then we'll just.
No, Mark, we had a debate here. We had a debate
on
on the Mays Jackson show one time, and I said, "Give me the number 1 basketball player out of Chicago." You kind of dominated.
I'm the number 1 basketball player out of Chicago. Yes.
Hey, you heard it right here on the Mays Jackson show.
I mean, I don't think anybody of my friends out there. I don't think anybody out there could. They can't go against that. I don't think they would. Why would they?
I don't want nobody. I want no problem.
Come on, man. Let's just come on. I mean, like, I have some great players.
Okay.
Great players, but throughout an entire career, every level, everywhere you step, dominated. Like, it wasn't like I was up here in the NBA playing. No, I'm a problem for every 29 teams in the NBA. I'm a problem. Okay, so how many can say that? 29 teams in the NBA, I am the problem. Like, what are we going to do with him? So everybody from Chicago has done it like that.
So, Mark, you went to Westinghouse.
Right.
You leave Westinghouse.
Go to DePaul.
And go to DePaul.
Yeah.
Mark, now at that point when you Westinghouse, you are like, everybody knows at this point that you the man. Yes?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Why DePaul?
Okay, so you actually answered the background of what I'm going to tell you is that I went to UCLA. UCLA was the number 1 team in the country.
Okay, was Wooden still there?
No, I don't know who was there, but I can't remember the coach at this point. But they were number 1 team in the country, and they had David Greenwood. And I don't know if any of your listeners know David Greenwood, but he was the number 1 player in the country. So they were recruiting. So I'm going to go see what's going on. So I go out there, little unofficial, whatever deal. And I get out there and I play against him. And I'm being honest and truthful with me. I gave him the business. Like, I mean, like, I'm better than you. Right now, I'm better than you. And you're the number 1 team in the country. So me, going back to what you're saying, is that I'm known in Chicago. I don't have to rebuild a brand. I already got a brand in Chicago, and I'm as good as you. What makes me think I should come here and play with you? I don't need to.
Dang, you didn't want to be part of like a super team?
I had one because I knew Terry Cummings, I knew Teddy Grubbs, I knew Isaiah Thomas, and I was like, if I had you guys here today, we would be beating the number 1 team in the country. If they were playing, them 4 guys were playing with me, and we were playing UCLA that day at that point, they couldn't win. So why should I come to UCLA when I can do this right here in Chicago? I already got a brand.
Now everybody else tells us they got to leave Chicago to be successful.
Man,
there's
total false narrative. I hate they keep preaching that. We are just in the the dark about thinking about where you can succeed at. Duke doesn't make you good. I love Duke, good coach, good program, but no program makes you good. You know, it's you that make the program good. Let's bring it to it. Now, the coach helps you, but they don't recruit the top player for what? Because you are going to look good on my bench? No, because you're going to make me good. Isn't that what they do?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that if I'm good in my era, the guys that I thought, you know, forgive me for being that way, probably what got me all screwed up in Dallas is that I know what I can do. Like, don't look at me as saying, I'm bringing you here and you're going to play with these guys. No, I'm bringing you. I'm bringing you something that's going to, you know, make your team different.
Mark.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk more history, but I want to go to that just a little bit because that confidence coming from a black man in sports, it seems like there's an inherent rub there. When you as the athlete know your worth or value and aren't scared to stand on it.
Right. Yeah.
Talk to me about being a confident black man in that era. And confident in your skills. Because I want to go and then I'm gonna take it somewhere else.
Well, it's actually difficult. Extremely difficult. Meaning that I understand overall what we're building here as a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's what we do. But when you look at it, I look at it as my talent as being a part of this build for what we're going to do, which means is I have to understand the whole platform. I have to picture what we're doing. You can't just throw me in there because you just dribble the ball. I can't do that.
Okay.
I got to know the picture, and I think every championship team, every championship group, when you talk about the Magics who I followed, the Birds who I followed, everybody, I learned from them. And if you're not treated with the right respect of winning a championship, it erodes, and then it erodes with teammates and players. Then it erodes organizational wise, and you're not looking and following the things that can interrupt your growth as a franchise. And if you do that, meaning that protecting my narrative, meaning that if somebody else says something about me and you hear it and I'm on your franchise, you're supposed to do something about that. You know, at least look into that because I'm protecting my franchise. You can't say things about my number one player. You can't. You're interrupting my franchise. You know, even when what's his name, football player, Green Bay quarterback,
Aaron Rodgers.
When he got into that little do about, you know, the vaccine and how to take it and things like that, I guarantee you the franchise was looking on how to make sure they parlor that in a way where it doesn't affect him and we don't get hurt that much by it. You know, but in Dallas, we were absent of that. So that's a black man being in, you know, a city that, you know, is totally treat blacks different. Definitely treat blacks different.
And so let me ask you this, and then I'm going to definitely come back to that. Deshaun Watson seems to be in the same precarious position, which is Houston said, Negro, you said you wanted to be traded, and so they decided they was going to destroy him. And they was willing to go 2-10 and keep him on the bench as one of the number one quarterbacks in the league.
But he guilty. But that's what it looks like, right? Who's the bad guy?
Deshaun.
Is he the bad guy?
I'm saying that's who it looks like.
That's what it looks like, but is he the bad guy?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that the narrative, you have to be aware and control of when people try to, you know, put that on you. You know, it was put on me. I'm not the guy that was painted in Dallas. You've known me how long?
About 2 years now.
Everybody that's outside of the Mavericks organization know me. Even some of the people inside the organization know me. And it was possible for them to write and constantly say and create that narrative about
Back up.
me. Yeah.
So let's go to that, because what is that narrative? What do you feel like happened in Dallas? So let's back up, because Mark Aguirre, and then I got to go back to DePaul, because what I saw this weekend, I got to ask you about it. We can talk about it if you're okay with it.
No, we're good. I'm good. I'm open book. I'm not going to hurt anybody.
No,
but,
I don't want...
I need to let people know. I always been this way. I've never told you anything that you couldn't get in the book and fact find it and say. I don't speak in terms of not being a fact.
Mark, there's this image, or there's this narrative that we're talking about in the league, and I think it was much easier to put on people when there wasn't social and digital.
Absolutely,
and people could tell their own stories. You were the #1 draft pick. I'm talking about of the whole NBA.
Right.
How did you go from being the #1 draft pick, most desired guy, to having what seemed to be a reputation of being a trouble player?
Okay, so listen. I think the most, when I look at it, is that I'm from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Tough city.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, there's quirks in it, but when you stand on your word, the people I grew up around, your word is what you stand on. You had to lose people around there, but the most of the core, believed in core. And I was brought up like that. And that wasn't necessarily an attribute that transferred well to the Dallas Mavericks organization. Because look, you're not going to just say anything to me. You're not going to just, you can't. I'm not going to let you ever call me out my name. It's not going to happen. Never.
Somebody, was that?
No, I'm saying is that it happens. You're not going to say things to me that reflect that I'm either not as smart, we'll just put it simple as that, or you're not going to you're not going to throw things at me like that, and I won't be blow up about them. And I think you saw one this weekend. No,
right.
You're gonna talk to me like I would talk to you. That's going to happen. If we get outside of that, we can have a discussion about it, but, you got to respect me that way first, and we'll never have a problem. But you ran into more of disrespect, but you got to catch it. You got to catch it. It could be a little under the water, so I'm watching you now, because you're a little bit quirky about those things. But you got to respect it. And then the fact that I respected and things that I wouldn't do, nothing against the team, that narrative started growing.
Give me an example, if you don't mind, an example of like things you wouldn't do. That make you, because I'm curious to know, how does a player become a trouble player in that time? Because it seems like there were the people that they picked. I'm gonna give you a real simple one. Okay,
real simple one. It looks simple, but it throws up a flag.
Okay.
But at that point, first year I was in there, we flew a commercial airline.
Okay.
And in the commercial airline, they hand you a ticket.
Okay.
You have a ticket. That ticket has Mark Aguirre on it, flying from here to wherever it is. And there's a number on it, which is your advantage number, or what I think it was called, advantage number.
Yeah.
But anyway, but a simple thing is that from the laws of American Airlines at that point, the person that sat in that seat get those points, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a little thing. We got a note, or affidavit, or whatever it may be, to relinquish our miles to the organization. I was like, hold up, that doesn't sound right. So I called the league office and called them. They was like, no, well, that's a part of your contract. They have to buy seats for you in order to fly. And they bought them from me. So that's my seat, my ticket, my advantage number. I'm not signing that over to you. That's a little thing. But right then, I'm different. If you look at it, I mean, it could be bigger things, but, he's different, and there's just different things that, for the faith of being right or honest about it, or at least debate about it, you can't just run things by me like that. I'm not doing that. And I was that guy who, or I do it myself. Like, look, I don't need you to do that. I'll get my own trainer. Well, they're doing that now. But back then, I was a little ahead of the time. I'm like, I don't need your trainer because I might not trust him with everything that I want him to do. I'll get my own. I had my own trainer. I had my own individual physician. I had my, and all those are, all. And in the 80s, that was way out there. And it transferred to other teams, other coaches. You know what he's doing? He's doing this. He's doing that. So now, if you speak to another person, how does he think he could do that? That's how it looked. Who does he think he is?
Who does he think he is?
But what was I doing? I'm taking care of my body. I trust this group to take care of my body, even though that group will get the information. But this is, but I'm way out there. So the narrative starts. He's hard to deal with. I'm not. Nobody's seen me hard to deal with. No, I'm not.
Most amicable guy you ever meet. But you don't want no problems. So, Mark, tell me, I need you to put this in perspective. You're the number 1 draft pick.
Right.
What that contract look like?
Back then, it was they pay more in, please. They paying more in plane fuel than we made back then.
So, ballpark, your first contract, what?
Well, geez, my first contract was 3 years. 4 years. I can't remember what it was. But the whole thing ended up like $2.5 million or something like that. That was it. But Kareem was making only $1 million. So what? I'm telling you, the money got bigger by my third or fourth year. But then that was like $2.5-3 million a year.
These dudes be signing like $50 million a year.
No, it never. But let me tell you, I would have loved to have been playing now. Suck that money up. Mm-hmm. Would love to, but not in the cards. But when I came in the league, it's a really strange stories, and it's really strange. And I got an attorney in Chicago, in Michigan, who I applaud. Right. Okay. So Kareem or Magic is the highest paid players in the NBA when they were coming in, and I don't know, they was probably making $500,000-$600,000. Yeah, hold on, don't. I see your face. It wasn't that big.
Damn, I was NBA caliber back in the day.
It wasn't a lot of money. NBA almost went under. The NBA in Magic Johnson's championship game with Boston was delayed telecast. It wasn't no money in the NBA that then. The NBA exploded during the Magic Bird era.
Okay,
that's when it exploded. But you wasn't getting that kind of money back then. But at the latter part of my career, it got substantially bigger.
Okay,
but we weren't nowhere near what they're making.
I mean, yeah, you think about it, like Mike got 25 at the end,
and
it was like,
end.
and Juwan probably got that in like the first deal.
Come on. So what I'm saying is that's
Mark, I want to go back to DePaul.
Right.
So, first of all, y'all, this weekend we went to the DePaul Loyola game, where, courtesy of Mark AGUIRRE.
Well, courtesy of Mark AGUIRRE.
Shout out to DePaul. Shout out to my man Vince Bass. Shout out to what's our girl's name? Nikki. Shout out to Nikki. Is it Nikki Childress, I believe is her name. Yes. Nikki and the hospitality. Thank you they showed me tremendous amount of love and my son a tremendous amount of love, who was excited to be sitting courtside. And I don't know that he really got it until you hit the screen. Right? Oh, I don't, like your kids be like, Dad, that's another one of your friends. yeah. I'm like, he was the number 1 draft pick. He'd be like, was he around LeBron? Right? They got a whole new, right? And then we watch the Bad Boys though, right?
Oh, y'all watch the Bad Boys.
And so he like, that's football, Dad. Yeah. That's Mark. Oh, right? So, but Mark, I did not realize, because I never went to a DePaul game.
Right.
But the way that the DePaul alumni, and I remember the first time we did that broadcast over by the little restaurant down the street and you showed up and I saw all the white guys at this Italian restaurant running like, oh my God, Mark Aguirre's here. He's the man. He's here. And they was like, please, could you? And they was calling their wives. They was taking selfies. And then when we went to the game, I was watching how all the white folks was like, oh my God, Mark Aguirre. Then they put you on the screen and like the deck goes up and people are raving. And Mark, I feel like DePaul during my youth was to me as big as North Carolina, was
bigger.
As big as okay.
Don't say you know what? You know, that's the thing, and you guys that are sitting in front of your computers, you could probably find data that supports it, is that DePaul University had no idea what was thrown in their lap. And it wasn't by me, grace of God, that this mixture happened like this. But when you said earlier the superstation in Chicago, you said the number one team in the country. It's like early social media. We were the only ones that could project our game into North Carolina. North Carolina couldn't project their games into Chicago. They didn't have the superstation. They had to wait till, the national broadcast put one of them on. So we were so ahead of the game in spreading our brand throughout the entire country when other teams couldn't spread their brand like that. The big ones you knew. But we immediately jumped from there to there being one of the biggest brands in entire college basketball, probably the biggest brand at that point. And we didn't capitalize on that particular moment in time for this team because we recruited what we wanted to recruit. Like, it wasn't like he's the best player here, he's coming to DePaul.
Right.
He's the best. Oh, well, he's encouraged. Yeah, but we're on his list. We're on his list. We were on all the top kids' lists, all of them. Every kid in the country knew DePaul. We was on every day, like every weekend, and the best team in the country. So they had to promote us. Yeah,
What happened, Mark? Like, how was it? Is it the proliferation of cable, ESPN? Like, why does it seem like DePaul? What happened? It seems like we saw one time when they brought it almost back, when they got Lance and Quentin Richardson and all of them, and they came back, and we thought it was going to be another, maybe this is going to be the thing that brings Chicago players back home. What happened?
Well, we didn't understand how to build our relationship, what was in front of us nationally. We stayed mom and pop. We didn't build our organization nationally. We didn't set up different at DePaul, different, even like now, social media and learn how to make it work for us. Like right now, there's social media. When I look at it, we didn't use the components and the things and the reach and put money into them in order to, gain the stature and maintain it that we could have. We didn't put money into those things. I mean, we played at Rosemont Horizon Arena. Why are we playing the Rosemont Horizon Arena? That wasn't the move. At that point, Chicago's team, wherever the Bulls, like the Hoyas, or like St. John's used to do, they used to play in
the Garden.
We should have been playing in the stadium. We were a bigger draw than the Bulls at that point. Matter of fact, they should have been the second people in there. We should have been the owners of that thing. We were the biggest draw. We were the biggest draw in Chicago. We drew more than, you can't draw more than the Bears, but we were the biggest the biggest draw in Chicago, but you're playing mom and pop. We played mom and pop with that.
So, Mark, one of the things that I noticed this weekend was the amount of, old people.
Yeah.
Old DePaul fans. And I'm going to tell you, it felt like when I was at this game, less the black people. And it wasn't as big as larger black attendance. I'm not denigrating them. It feels like I felt like it was Notre Dame, DePaul, and Loyola were the schools that the Irish Catholics from this area went to. And I feel like it's kind of like a closed network, sort of. And I don't know if it is. When I was watching it was like the good old days. It felt like when I was at the game and they were reminiscing on the good old days of when DePaul was great, and it was like we had our great black athletes. I don't know, though, that they appreciate what you provided to them, and I don't know if they had the level of respect for the people. And that's not a diss. Tell me, do you feel like DePaul has given you your flowers?
No, because we never knew what we had. I mean, the thing is, we say, "Oh, we had all that," but that era, you didn't understand the value of that era and to make it what it should be. I mean, okay, put it like this: if I say Los Angeles Lakers and you talk about the history, like, where do you go to?
Magic, Kareem. Right, I go to.
You go Boston. What
I'm gonna go Larry Bird. I'm gonna go Kevin McHale. I'm gonna go. Oh no! I'm gonna go Robert. What's my man? Bill Russell.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go Robert Parrish. I'm gonna go Dennis Johnson. I got a bunch.
Okay, if you go North Carolina, what are you gonna say?
Michael Jordan, James Worthy, Dean Smith, J.R. Reed. Right.
Okay, so when you go DePaul, what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say Mark Aguirre. I'm gonna say Rod Strickland. I'm gonna say Dallas Comagese. I'm gonna say, I'm probably run through a few.
Okay, so those names that you said.
Oh, Terry Cummings. Damn.
Okay, yeah. But those names that you said, those other individual franchises or schools, they kept and promoted them. I mean, make rooms for them, show their history, really nice gatherings. Have some on the bench that used to play. Have them in the organization. So what DePaul left out of us as athletes is the business of basketball. None of us are in there. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. Okay, now that leaves to my era that brings them in, that right now when you said it's an older, see, we don't have a bridge to that. And it's going to be a bridge after us to the next one. But we are grooming our athletes, especially our basketball players in Paul, understanding the business of basketball. They don't extend that to in other organizations. When you go into all those other great schools, you can look through their entire organization and see how it stepped down, and they want to come back. They want to do nobody. Guys don't come back. I mean, being honest, guys won't come back.
I was thinking about like at U of I, if you played at U of I, you ain't falling off. Right, the U of I is gonna be like
the U of I.
Whether you are an ambassador, whether you are whatever, you are gonna be straight in that space. I guess.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't, and I felt a kind of way about it because I'm like, dog, y'all had the #1 draft pick. Y'all got It was a weird scenario.
Yeah, well, I'm just letting you know. I mean, easiest way I can put it to you and make it. So you can verify it yourself when you look at those things.
Oh no!
I'm not telling you nothing that's not true. I'm never going to tell you anything that's not true, and I'm going to tell you things that are factual. When you look at them, and it's easy for you to see what I just said. A, B, C.
Mark, have they retired your jersey?
Yeah, they did.
Okay,
yeah, they did. But the problem is, hold it. Here's the problem again. That's been 100 years ago, and Terry Cummings' jersey is not retired.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. Dallas Comagese, it's
strict. None of them.
Strict. None of them. That's an
Kevin
insult.
Ellis, none of them.
That's an insult, bro. I want him to take mine down sometime. I feel so awkward.
That's the team, but that goes back to that whole team thing I was talking about that you seen.
I feel awkward. I mean, it bothers me every time I go into that arena. And I know, it's just there. I like, how in the hell, with the history of this franchise, that's almost degrading. It hurts me. Like, we were a team. I mean, like, Terry Cummings was, look, You big gangster. Listen, man, I'm so glad to have you here, man. You big gangster here. Take that. Oh, no, you going to do it like that, TC? Oh, my goodness. Wow. I mean, it was that nice, and
crazy.
Yeah, but I can't, I mean, I think it ought to be. I don't think they should have the right to even put it up there. It should be a bunch of players that vote on who needs to go up there or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Mark, I was going to talk about our thing, but I'm going to let that go. I did think, though, one of the things I saw this weekend was, okay, so I saw a situation that made me very uncomfortable, and I had two thoughts, right? I saw you having a conversation with a guy. We'll leave it at that. The exchange got a little bit heated. In the exchange.
From his standpoint.
Right. Oh, no, right. No. You were super cool all the time.
Please,
but what I saw was his voice raised.
Yeah.
He started finger pointing.
Yes.
And
that was it.
And you lost it. Now, not lost it. You said that's it. That's the end of the conversation.
Conversation's over.
Now, I had two hats that I saw in that space, right?
All right.
So one hat is the hat of the, like, there's a part of me that'd be like, get the bag, right? Like, there's just like 100% about,
right.
Look, man, we got something to do here. Let's do what we got to do. Let's get this bag. Let's get out of here.
Right.
And then there's the part, which is the black man in me that says, screw your bag, screw your money, because it ain't worth me compromising who I am. So I had a dichotomy of responses when I saw that happening. But it was one of the most tremendously powerful things, and I really wish that my son would have been with me when you did that.
He wasn't there.
He was, because he's a bastard. He like, I want to see halftime.
He was outside,
but to see this, I would call it a mega donor, from my perception, talking in a manner where probably there was some gold to mine there, if somebody was to mine it, and you would not allow your integrity to be compromised in the conversation. Gentleman as gentleman as a person can be, although you could have slapped him crazy and he wouldn't have been able to do nothing, but that ain't the type of person you were. But it was dope to see the money be secondary to the respect. And I saw a lot in that conversation, and it got me to thinking about how someone gets labeled as difficult.
Absolutely.
Right? Like,
absolutely.
I was like,
you put it all in one shell. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
I was like,
absolutely.
the business side of me, the bag chaser, like, oh God, don't put him in front of the sponsors. Don't put him in front of the, look, man. And part of me, that's why I ran and grabbed the guy from DePaul, like, yo, break this up, get in the middle of this. And it's like, but then there's that part where it's like, no, that's not difficult. That was respect. Like, brother, you can have whatever opinion you want, but you don't get to holler at me, and you don't get to put your hand in my face.
Let me just get in that a little bit.
Okay.
And I got a friend named David Storch. He's a Jewish guy.
Okay.
And he owns a company. He's just chairman of it now. It's called AAR. And they provide repair, maintenance, and overhaul for all of the airlines throughout the world.
Oh, wow.
Huge company, right? And we became friends, right? And he watched me more than he knew me more than I thought he knew me. And we've had little conversations like that. And he broke out one day. He says, I know you well now. And he had watched me back then. And he says, and I can see how your perception got turned around, and then we talk about, he says, because you always try to stand, not trying to change anybody's mind, but there's a certain level of respect that always has to be with me to you and you to me. And when you're outside that line, which can go with us as African Americans, it can come a lot, and by my nature, who I am, who God made me, if I do something outside that my inner feeling isn't good, and I don't like feeling like that. So I am not going to accept it. You know, I understand that the bag is there. You know, I truly understand, and I know how to work other bags.
That we see.
And you're not the only bag. So what I'm saying is that from my integrity point to, like, if your son had been watching me point, meaning that if he see a guy with his finger in my face and I'm this athlete, what is he thinking about at that point? What is he thinking about? You know what I'm saying? You know, or if you vice versa and I had my finger in his face, what is he thinking about at that point? So that was totally inappropriate, and not to let it escalate is that I removed myself from the situation. You had to be close to know what happened, but I just removed myself. But, you know, now he knows that, you know, you can say what you want to say about Mark Aguirre, but in your heart, you know that ain't it. That's not it.
Man, child.
That
I saw difficult.
Well, it was
I
cool.
saw how they could turn. Man, it was just so enlightening to watch it happen. Mark, what you up to now, man?
Man, you know, spending most of my time, man, trying to figure out the supply chain to get my champagne through.
Right, because can I just tell you, I got on my notes. Carrie said, first you had me taste the Sherlin, and now I'm going to the stores. I can't get it. I go to Costco. I go everywhere. And it's like, don't have me tasting it, and then tell me I can't buy it.
It's out of my hands. I can't do it. But, you know, we're getting it in. But
so back up. Tell people about, you said you're trying to figure out the supply chain, because Mark, you and Isaiah Thomas have teamed up for a premium champagne.
Yes, it's extremely good. Like you've tasted. Anybody that my friends that have tasted, it's
what's the name of it?
Chicagoland Champagne.
Go ahead and tell us about it.
Well, you know, it's actually to be Champagne. It's from Champagne, France, and it's from a growing family who's been in business like 250 years or something like that, and it's actually the closest you're going to get to pure champagne, you know, on the market. You know, we've got rated to 94, along with Vouv, Cristal, Dom Perignon.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is that we have far less sugar and no sulfate, so our taste is totally clean.
Okay.
I mean, and if you taste it, you're gonna flow. So I spend most of the time building that brand, but then I spend, you know, by building that brand, I'm meeting a lot of people, especially different people that I didn't meet when I was here, you know, playing ball. You know, different people who are really helping the community. I'm running into people like that now that I didn't get an opportunity to do first. So those two are combining. You know, I mean, it's making, it's giving me a nice little education on how Chicago's rolling now and what people are doing. So I'm doing that, but I'm really trying to spend time in Chicago and, you know, get to lay of the land a little bit.
Hey, man, Marcus, like I turn around, I be looking up, and I be like, Mark was at the pier.
Mm-hmm.
Then I look up, Mark was doing the tasting that he was over at Q's. Mark, we got to get you down to the TP, man.
Dog, we
got to get you at TP, man.
I just told you the other day what to do. We can run it from there much as you want.
Hey, TP. We got to get Mark Aguirre at the TP doing this. We got because, you know, one time we had a tasting up at the TP.
Yeah, we did.
And when we had that, the band was off the chain, the tasting.
Everybody liked it.
Everybody liked it. I told you, my wife is still being like, you ain't getting no more? I'm like, babe, I'm gonna ask her and get the. She say, she like, man, you tell them don't be getting me all tasted up for it.
Well, that's the first time you told me the boss lady wanted it.
Oh, the boss lady wanted it.
Well,
the boss
see,
lady.
that's all.
Now you gotta tell me, I'll buy a case. I just want to keep her happy, right? And now we on the campaign trail, so it's like, look, she needs something to sip on when she come home. You know, I be trying to, baby, I bought you some champagne, get a little chocolate. You know, you trying to work it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
I got a little romance.
I like that.
I got a little romance in me. Mark, gotta ask you, man. Scotty and Mike, what's going on with this? Is this like? I guess my question is,
Scotty trying to promote his stuff. You do know that, right?
Yeah, but
okay.
At Mike's expense, do Mike like
Okay, let me put it to you like this.
Break it
and
down,
we're going to
so.
go to you. And I'm going to just give you two scenarios.
Okay.
Our whole Piston team right now has a thing that we do. We meet every people all over the world. And we have our own little network, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where if you meet somebody and you were in Seattle, you might make that a moment.
Okay.
But in our moment, you and I can't do it on here because I'll be giving information, but we do something
close to.
We do something and we spread it to that group.
Okay.
And we all get the information.
Okay.
But anything that happens outside that group with any of our teammates that we had will never be said. Nothing. Ever. 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 My teammates. This is teammates. Those two, they just won championships together.
Ah, you hating, man.
I'm not hating.
Oh,
You
come
can look
on, man.
at it.
That was the greatest team in the
was.
history
It
of
was.
great teams.
I'm not saying it was
Is
the
that
greatest.
just some Detroit shade,
It was the
man?
greatest basketball team, and I give them that credit.
Okay.
But they weren't a real team. We had to fight, scratch, be that close to each other in order to win a title. If we had any fractures in our group as we are that affected the way we played, we wouldn't have won. Scotty and Mike, they were so good. They did what they had to do to win the championships. But when I'm looking from the outside in, they don't like each other.
Really?
That's what I'm seeing. I mean, I may be wrong, but when I'm seeing like that, I would never, ever say anything like that. I'll say it to them personally about my teammate and put it out like that. I'm not going to do that. I would never. None of my teammates would ever do that to me. Never, ever. It wouldn't happen. I mean, we had things that go on you would believe inside that locker room that would be like, oh my God, really? But you know, at the end of the day, look, we're that family. Like in your family, you have some stuff going on in your family. That ain't coming outside the house.
Right, you're right. What goes on in this house stays in this house.
And we don't share dirty laundry like that. You ain't never seen us share dirty laundry on each other. You're not going to see it. You know, but Pittman and Mike, I really don't think they liked each other. Wow. You can win championships without liking people, and I don't think they liked each other. I really don't. That's me, you know.
I think that's some Detroit.
No, I'm not. Do you think I'm that kind of guy?
No, I don't. But I gotta chalk it up to something else. I gotta make up something, dog. I gotta get up that.
You're gonna leave here like, damn, Mark might have something. He might be right.
Mark, so this new era of the NBA. I guess there's eras, right? I think there's different eras. There's it don't seem the same. I mean, I feel like I understand teams can score 150 points, 120 points. But I kind of miss if you knew you was going to the cup, you might have an issue going to the cup. I miss a little. I mean, I think, like, Mark, if you was playing in the league now, the way that they do, with no touching, no hand checks, no nothing, how many points you think you'll score?
Well, I think to any person that follows basketball, when you're talking about playing with the rules and making things different, there's obvious when you're doing that, it's meant to make an advantage one way or the other. There's no way around it. It's going to make an advantage one way or the other. If you say you can't touch them, it's going to make the offense better. If you're going to say you get to bump them and rub them across, it's going to make the defense better. So that's clear, when you take things out. And because of the way I played, if you took those things out, it would be almost not even. I don't think there's a chance that you could guard me if you couldn't like bump me or hit me or that kind of thing. I don't think there's a chance because we were used to getting bumped and still making shots. Because we weren't getting those fouls. So the bump now, if I'm going to get a foul every time I do that, or even if I get it just 50% of the time, that's going to raise my thing way up because I can make most of those shots. Getting hit wasn't an issue. I didn't mind getting hit. If I just didn't get hit in the eye or, something like that, you can hit me anywhere. I can take it and still try to get that bucket. So if I got more of those, the numbers might be real nice. I mean, they would be real nice, I think.
Mark, Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There are players with less stats,
a lot of them.
Less numbers, less,
yeah.
And they go into the Hall. Mark, why aren't you in the Hall of Fame?
Okay, I'm gonna take you through this, and you can call it how you want to call it. Is that we're gonna go back to the narrative and how I got through the narratives that were being said about me. I'm from Chicago, right? I'm listening to things that are like, like you said, the incident the other day could have went either way, if I'm from a perception. And in the 80s, with the Mavericks organization, I was at a little disadvantage so far as what would the perception of me look like when those incidents happened. I was on the other side. Like, I wasn't getting the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Okay, so you understand that. So at one point, that bombards you so much, now I got to think about a defense. Got to. I'm from the west side of Chicago. Yo, man, it keep going on. You got to figure out how to stop it. Okay, so here comes the Jekyll Hyde. All right, never off the floor, but on the floor is where my nature came back to say, I'm destroying everything in front of me every game, every night. So what you're going to know as an NBA and as other teams and as the coaches, y'all don't really want to mess with me. So other players, I would destroy them and then walk over by their bench and tell the coach, who do you have next? What's the next guy coming up? It's not going to, I'm in front of their bench. It's not going to be you because you can't guard me. He's too soft. So, yeah. And then, but I ended up going like Jekyll Hyde. I was just, it was kind of ugly. I was straight gangster on the court. I just, when I went where I went to punish people. And so, and in doing so, it killed my, I was looked at as a different individual, different being. Like, this motherfucker, wow, what's wrong with him? So I had to do that, and I felt better about punishing people and looking at people in the eye and know they scared. So I was vicious. I was real vicious. Yeah, I was, man, but that was my only escape. I built that to just play. I had to do something to just, because when I got out the court, man, I had to go home because I didn't know what they were going to say. I knew the reporters were going to dog me some kind of way. It was coming, so I never – and I just – on the court was my relief, man, and that could have been a part of it that built that, because I was nasty.
What we got to do to get it? Is it too late? How do we advocate? What do we need to do? Because, man, Mark, I just feel like when I look at who made it and what your numbers –
yeah. It bothers me. It bothers me a little bit. But you know what, though, Maze, man, I don't need the light, man. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I understand where y'all coming from, but I wish people would understand where I'm coming from. Like, I don't need it like that. I
think it ain't that you need it. I think people want it for you.
Well, now if that's the case, cool.
I don't. Let me say this. I think that literally, if you're the top basketball player from Chicago, we want our spot. We from Chicago. Give us ours.
I can give y'all y'all.
Give us
I can give y'all y'all. And I think right now, it's becoming so clear now as I talk to people, talking to NBA and things like that, just by the pressure being put in by the NBA. I didn't put the pressure in, and then by some local officials, state reps,
Sean Ford. They doing a resolution. Look, Chris Welch, I think this, bro. Right. I think that, Mark, what I've come to recognize in our time of knowing each other is that you are, for all of your confidence, probably one of the most humble and respectable guys that I met with the level of stature and the status. And I'm just going to tell you, if the people would have reacted to me the way they reacted to you at that game, you probably wouldn't even be talking to me today because my head would not allow you to fit up in the studio. No, man. I mean, I saw that and the people was like, "Oh my God!" And it was like women was trying to give you their babies and take a picture and kiss me and oh my God, and then
that's fun. That's fun. That's cool.
So, brother, I think that when we talk about giving people their flowers,
right.
I think that's what this is. I think that's what it is. And I know my man Vince Bass is all over it. I know that y'all got a whole movement. Shout out to our girl, the outlet, Book of Dawn. Dawn Millhouse, who you coached.
She actually balled with us.
Oh, she said, I'm still cold point guard. You ain't no point guard. Ain't nobody point guard with that long gold ponytail. And you know, well, I wouldn't tell another joke about that, but thank God you didn't go all the way, Dawn, in the basketball world, but I'm going to let that be. Check this out, Mark. This ain't it. We got a lot more to talk about. I got to get out of here because it's 9 o'clock.
Let's get out of here. And you just hook your TP up.
TP ready.
Yeah, but see, I want to bring some friends on with me. I want to sit down in the TP. Nice spot. You got to go check it out. And got that table. You got that table with all them games and stuff on it. Yeah, I want to get that big table and play with them games.
Oh, look. And we got, look, man. Look. And I'm going to tell you, Mark, I feel like there's a way. There's a way that we can help retired NBA players who only got $3 million, $5 million participate in this industry that we in right now. I'm gonna tell you.
You need to introduce it, man.
Because I'm telling you, the football players, the retired football players, they all over it. They killing. They just came down. We was just down in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. They brought out all the football players that's like, man, this our way in. And it's like as soon as they get in, the state anyway.
Come on, man.
You should be in this gaming industry.
Come on, man.
All right, Mark.
I know I'm back and forth.
I got you. All right, man. Hey, man.
Here in Dallas, but I'm here now.
And speaking of that back and forth between you and Dallas, I got to go. Oh, speaking of that, when you come to Chicago from now on, you know, I represent some of the best, like Kevin Durant, all of them stay at our properties. So you should, I talk to you about that because you need to be treated like the king in the city when you're here. So, look, it's the Maze Jackson Show.
My boy, man. Appreciate you, boy.
Man, appreciate you. Appreciate my man, Vince Bass. Shout out to Book of Dawn, the outlet. Shout out to the Jackson brothers. Shout out to DePaul. Shout out to Eric Whitaker, the Doctors Whitaker, for everything that y'all showed me. And I was going to tell y'all about my negative experience this weekend, but it was so much love that the love outshined the hate.
Wow.
So forget the hate. We're going to talk about the love. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, oh, wait a minute, hold on. So for Maze and Riis, Ruthie, sometimes Todd, plus we got Big Mark AGUIRRE in the studio. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here.
Peace. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that